日曜日の朝ひらめいた。今日は街へ繰り出そう。お気に入りのジャケット羽織り、みんなが待っている交差点へ。 Everywhere グレートな僕は Everywhere スマートにチェックアウト。 Everywhere シンプルに踊り、ガラス越しの未来を見て。 Everywhere キュートな君は Everywhere スマートにチェックアウト。 Everywhere シンプルに彩り、ガラス越しに君微笑む。Have a nice day. 今日は Have a nice day. 日曜日の青い空、今日はあの子に会いに行こう。エスカレーター駆け上がり、君の待つステージへ急ぐ。 Everywhere グレートな僕は Everywhere スマートにチェックアウト。 Everywhere シンプルに踊り、ガラス越しの未来を見て。 Everywhere キュートな君は Everywhere スマートにチェックアウト。 Everywhere シンプルに彩り、ガラス越しに君微笑む。Have a nice day. 日曜日の朝ひらめいた。今日は街へ繰り出そう。お気に入りのジャケット羽織り、みんなが待っている交差点へ。 しの未来を見て Everywhere キュートな君は Everywhere スマートに Check it out Everywhere シンプルに彩りガラス越しに君微笑む微笑む微笑む今日は Have a nice day
All right, that transition took forever.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How you doing, my boy?
Doing well, doing well. How you doing, man?
It's been a long time since I've heard your voice.
I know. Heard my sensual voice in your ear holes. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Looks like you've hit puberty since then. The voice is a little deeper since the last time I heard it.
That's probably because I'm using my mic.
You're like, yeah, man, I just put on these effects to make it sound like I'm just like some real tough dude.
I got my voice changer on.
Yeah. All right. So, draft. This is going to be fun. This is going to be exciting, man. My first time as GBA. Obviously, like, you're a GBA pro at this point.
I mean, you know, I kind of know my ways around here and there.
Yeah. That's what I figured. But we got the draft order up at the moment. How'd you feel about 9th?
So that was kind of like somewhere I didn't really want to be, just because it's always nice to be in the front if you get the first pick or the end where you get the wheel pick. I was kind of like smack in the middle.
Yeah. The smack in the middle one's definitely not that great. I was glad when you like hit me up to join that I found out that I had 4th. I was like, all right, this is worth it. Like, yeah, I'll come in.
Speaking of great picks, you know.
Yeah,
number
right.
4.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like every league I've done has put me in like round, like either like 14 through 16 is like my guaranteed spot 9 times out of 10. So like I've really learned to love the wheel picks because it's so beneficial to be able to pick 2 Pokemon simultaneously that play well together, and you don't need to worry about something getting sniped in the meantime.
I'm pretty sure we were in a draft together, weren't we? Where you were last pick and you were getting like the wheel picks and stuff. I forgot if that was APA or something else, but yeah.
Yeah, probably. I think I had 16th in APA, and then we drafted 3 times for APA, man. All right, so let's go ahead, let you guys see my beautiful face. And Leo's first pick, starting off. Now, I think I have everything set up in terms of like the transitions and everything. If not, I'm going to just do it manually and we can tap through. But
should be fine, yeah. We'll just talk about each pick.
Yeah, exactly. My boy Leo is starting off the entire draft with Marshadow.
Pick number 1, Marshadow. I mean, that's a good mod. that's a good mod.
But is it a number 1 pick out of the gate?
I mean,
Envy's face cam. Do you know how difficult it would be to get his beautiful face in here?
Like Marshadow, like it has such a good ability with Technician, so you can utilize like Shadow Sneak and stuff. Get that power with that. Has a signature move in Spectral Thief, steals stat boosts.
Yeah,
which is really solid overall. High speed. So like the only downside is like in this draft you can't run Z crystals on your tier 1 or tier 2 Ubermons. So this thing thankfully can't run Marshadium Z.
Oh, thank God, right? Like what is that, like soul stealing something, like
soul stealing 7-star strike, I think. It's a beautiful move, but you know, Marshadow unfortunately can't use that here, but still I think it's a great mon, has some amazing setup and bulk up, calm mind, things like that. Utilizes Technician effectively. Ghost fighting, which is very unique too, by the way.
Yeah, that's some nice immunities there. All right, I don't think these are transitioning. So actually what I'm going to do, we're going to go into this, take out that, and then boom. Okay, it should move to the next slide. Yeah, there we go. Nope, actually, yes, that's it. Okay, so Aster was pick 2, grab Mega Mile right out of the gate.
What do you think about that, Mon?
So I feel like it's on, like, I've never done Ubers, but like more often than not, I feel like Mega Mile is kind of like on the edge of being allowed, and some leagues allow it in normal draft leagues and others don't. So I feel like grabbing something that is like borderline okay in normal Wi-Fi battles that like wasn't necessarily a great first pick out of the gate. Like maybe round 2, but you have the second pick of the draft. To not grab an Uber right away is way too early in my opinion.
Yeah, actually, so the tier 2 mons, like the tier 1 and tier 2 are both sort of like the Ubers. You got the tier 1 higher tier Ubers, the tier 2 sort of more of the lower tier Uber mons, or the mons that we have currently not allowed in the previous seasons. Going for tier 2 immediately, I think, is not a bad idea, just because you can actually grab something of value there before anybody else gets their hand on it. So that's another like positive thing about it. Also, I just got a memo. Do we want to add music?
Yeah, I just saw that message. I can grab some non-copyright music. What, you guys don't want to hear just dead silence? Like, what the hell's wrong with all?
You get to hear our voices. Nice.
Yeah, man.
Synergy between the voices right here.
Let's see. 10 hours non-copyright music.
But yeah, I think Mega Mawa is pretty cool. Like, it hits extremely hard. Very solid wall breaker. I've been using it quite a lot on the ladder and whatnot nowadays, because Mega Mawa is just a great mon to use. It has a lot of coverage options too, so it can really sort of tailor its build to certain scenarios.
I feel like I have this on a 35-second loop, but it's not. Okay, can you please?
I mean, we can just go manually, I guess.
Yeah.
Should be fine. As long as we just get all the information we need.
Alright, Yveltal going 3rd. I saw a bunch of people in the chat saying, like, I can't believe Yveltal is still on the table 2 picks in.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm glad to be able to placate the fans here and give them a great round 3 pick. I love Bacon Bird. It's like not only was it like my first shiny that I ever got of a legendary, like when I was streaming for 251, but like in general, the fact that it has Oblivion Wing and can get health back is just wild. With like this huge damaging move like that recovers health. And it's unique in the fact that it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, Yveltal was definitely like, it was something that I was also looking at too. It's just such a great mon. I used to use it a lot back in the day as well. Oblivion Wing just heals you up so much, right?
Yeah. And it's like, stab, and it's...
You have the ability, I think, which also boosts dark type moves, right? The Dark Aura ability.
Yep.
And apart from that, like, it just has some great coverage. You can run a lot of different sets on it. It's very versatile, extremely versatile mon that can play a wide variety of
like an
roles.
Upgraded Torn T.
Yeah, like that's something like that. It can stall break with taunt and knockoff and stuff, and it can also wall break with like choice specs. It can run choice scarf sets as well. So I think Randy made a really good grab getting this thing before anyone else did.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like if this had not gone, you would have definitely suggested that I pick it up next.
Probably.
Because round 4, or pick 4, round 4 is my pick. I'll be honest, I was at Walmart, I was doing some shopping for my new apartment. MV asked me to join GBA, and he's like, you're up, by the way. I'm like, awesome, cool. So that gives me a chance to look over everything. And he's like, and you're expected to pick soon. So I decided to grab Kyurem White, because that was your recommendation. You want to tell me why you like with the 4th pick in the draft, you recommended I grab this mon? Because 170 special attack is nuts.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Hits extremely hard. You love using Kyurem Black in the league that you were in.
Yeah, the first draft of APA.
Right, so I figured something that would sort of maybe help you catch on a lot quicker too was Kyurem White. essentially does a lot of the same thing, except it actually has some better coverage, hits a lot harder on the special side, and just a Pokemon that you really don't want to switch into unless you have a Chansey or something.
Yeah. That's so true. I'm so excited to use it. Like, it looks so versatile. It's got a great, like, almost 100 speed tier. Like, it's just below that. But, like, I feel like every weakness that this mon has, like, you guys will see, my moving picks forward is going to be, oh my goodness, so good.
Yeah, a lot of the teams overall look.
Oh yeah, man.
amazing.
I was like, when I was putting the slides together, I'm like, who allowed this to happen on some of these teams?
Yeah.
It is absolutely insane. I'm not a fan. All right, so next we have round 5, or pick 5, going up to Mega Lucario for the San Jose Sharpedos. Oh my god, like, this is so busted.
Yeah, I like Mega Lucario. It's a beautiful Pokemon in terms of setup. You have options like Nasty Plot, you have Swords Dance, and it's just a faster, more powerful Lucario, and it has adaptability, I think, right? So
Yep, that's its mega ability.
yeah, so I think in a draft style format where you can sort of, I guess, modify your moves based on the matchup and stuff, I think that it's going to be a huge threat that a lot of teams will need to prepare for, with a lot of priority as well, like Bullet Punch, Extreme Speed, Vacuum Wave for the special sets. So very fast mon, very, I guess, powerful setup, sweeper, and threat.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like, priority is just so strong. The ability to just finish things off before they even have a chance to get set up or live a hit or do any damage.
I was given a bit of a history lesson on the GBA where this thing was actually allowed, I think, in season 2 maybe or somewhere, and it actually, I don't think it got drafted or something, or nobody picked it up. So I don't know.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, we have Nexus up next, grabbing Zygarde 100%. Dragon Ground. I don't think I would, like, talk to me. Oh my
his
god.
father, bro. Zygarde 100% is father. Okay, this thing, father form, it's so it activates its ability. So it's it starts off as a regular Zygarde. It has the ability Power Construct. When you get below that 50% range, you transform into this monster. Okay, you get back a lot of HP from that. You essentially, I think, go from a base 108 HP to a
216.
Like 200. Yeah, 216 exactly.
I'm
so
looking
like
at it now.
it literally looks like you're healing with this when you're like in that range. So I don't know. I mean, this thing, and it of course gets some decent boost in its stats and its like defense and whatnot. But yeah, like this thing is gonna be so difficult to take down. So you're gonna really have to play around it a bit while it's in its regular form, maybe. But even then,
Yeah,
it's
try
still
to get like an Oko on it just to stop it from even
yeah.
causing you any problems, because you know once it evolves or transforms, like you're just in for a bad time.
Exactly, and if you have like the team support for it too, like if you have something that can heal it up as well, like think about that.
Yeah. Nate, Mewtwo fan Nate, grabbing big surprise, Mewtwo in the his first pick of the draft.
Mascot pick?
Yeah, going for the No, because his mascots are the Noibats. Like, I guess it's like the self mascot pick.
Yeah, like I guess the original.
Yeah, the OG.
The OG
pick, but so it's not like it's just Mewtwo. He doesn't get like the megas
mega
with
form,
it.
yeah. He doesn't get the mega.
Okay.
Megas are banned, of course. However, Mewtwo on its own, still having the stats to be a huge threat. Like it has a viable attack and special attack. Speed is amazing, base 130, so it's actually outrunning Marshadow. So that's something interesting to note. He also is capable of running some good setup moves like Calm Mind, and it just hits really hard. Has a lot of great coverage as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that'll be interesting. I just think it's hilarious that he went and grabbed the mascot pick in that sense.
I mean, I would have been surprised if he didn't though. Like, think about it. Mewtwo fan
Right. The
has to
one,
have Mewtwo.
like, what other leagues is he gonna have a chance to grab Mewtwo out of the gate?
Exactly my thoughts.
Or even just grab Mewtwo in general. And then, of course, you know, Greninja Protein coming in from Kyle. Hey, here I'm very jealous of this pick. I wish I'd thought of it myself. Greninja is great in regular league matches, but for you to actually have access to Protein in terms of getting stab everything is just so good.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
good.
And it's one of the reasons why you don't see it or why it's banned in like regular formats of league and stuff.
Yeah,
You-
because
you
it's
can
speed
see-
and the U-turn ability to stab U-turn out. Like,
exactly. Yeah, this thing is a huge, I guess, sort of a threat, I guess, because it has some really nice coverage, and it just changes types based on whatever you put on it.
yeah. So it can literally play any role that you need it to.
Yeah, T-Spikes, Spikes, Taunter, has priority and Shadow Sneak, turns into a ghost type.
Oh my god. Dude, these games are going to be nuts to get set up for and play.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, you want to talk about your pick? Giratina?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep. So I got Tier 2 Giratina Origin. All right. This is one that I really wanted to use, especially since, firstly, it's a Tier 2 mon. Giratina Origin, for being a Tier 2, I think is super high value. Look at that monster on the screen. Yeah, so I got like, so essentially, it's going to be my best defogger for this league, as defog Giratina Origin is something that is what it's commonly known for. It's also Dragon Ghost, so it's super unique in that sense, since there's no other Dragon Ghosts, I think, in the game. And it has Levitate. Its item allows it to get the boost in Dragon and Ghost type moves, and it does not take the increased damage from knockoff because its item cannot get removed. And it has a lot of decent coverage as well that it can use to its advantage.
Yeah. It's going to be fun, man. It looks fun. Looks awesome. You agree with getting it right out of the gate for round 1 for yourself?
I think so, just because it's, in my opinion, one of the extremely higher value Tier 2 picks.
Okay. So you want to get started on Tier 2 early.
Yeah, and especially since I was sort of in like the middle-ish end part of the draft, like just leading on towards the end, I can probably snag a Tier 1 when it comes back, is what my logic was.
Okay, somebody did not save their file the right way.
It just showed all the picks.
No, not all the picks, but someone's file is messed up. Go with Goldo. Alright, he grabbed Dialga. I didn't spoil anything. It was like the next 2 picks. Okay, it's not my fault people can't crop their Photoshop files. Dialga coming on in, being grabbed. T1, Steel Dragon.
So, with this pick, I think, like, here's the thing, right? Dialga was something I was also looking at, too. But I think, with Giratina, I wasn't going to get it. But it's a great stealth rocker, first of all. Dialga easily sets up rocks. Dragon Steel, which is another, similar to Giratina, unique in its own typing. It has really good special attack, so it can drop Dracos, it can flash cannon stuff. It has the ability to set up and bulk up, perhaps. It has Trick Room as well, options for it, and I think it's just a pretty solid mon overall. Just an all-around kind of mon.
Yeah, it looks fun. I can't wait to get to picks that I actually know stuff about. Sitting
You
here.
don't know about Dialga? Did you use it in like Pokemon Diamond and just spam Roar of Time?
Just kill everything. Why are these all? All right. Tup, grabbing Shaman Sky. Also, I think what you would agree would be a value Tier 2 pick.
I think so too. Yeah, like it. So Shaman Sky it's a fast mon, but I think it really gets sort of its appeal and sort of how it can perform well based on its ability Serene Grace. So with this thing, you're gonna have to get really lucky, and I think Tup knows that he's going to try to flinch everybody down.
Yeah,
to get
flinch
those
them all,
wins.
man. Flinch them
them
into the
all,
next dimension.
Yep. And plus, it can also get the greater Spadef drop chance from Seed Flare with the Serene Grace. So that's another thing to note, is that it can drop stats really quickly with that because of the increased effect in Serene Grace, and then spam air slash to wall break as well.
Yeah, so it's doubled, right? With the
yes.
with Seed Flare, so it's an 80% chance to drop
yes, correct.
2 stages.
Yeah, and that's huge. Like that's really
that's nutty. So nothing
exactly.
can pretty much take 2 Seed Flares.
It depends if
Well,
it's like times 4 resistance.
yeah.
But like if you like Seed Flare and then spam air slash and you're faster, like it's gonna be tough to break through. And plus, it can also sub seed, so it can sub leech seed as well, which is another common set that I've seen in my time in Ubers.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. How many Uber leagues have you done?
0. This is my first one, but I've like played Ubers on the ladder before, like in X and Y and Black and White and stuff. And like I used to climb, you know, I used to make the
fancy
climb.
man, right? Yeah. GS Slash.
So this is Cybertron's pick, right?
Yeah.
He picked up Aegis Slash tier 2. Tier 2 Aegis Slash, I think is a good mon. Like I've not really seen Aegis Slash in many draft formats just because of how good it is. And King Shield is one of the main appeals that it has because it can switch forms, you know, in its shield form, in its attack form. Lowers the attack if there's a contact move on the King Shield. So really good typing as well with Steel Ghost. And can check a lot of different things, I feel.
Yeah. And, you know, someone just said automize weakness policy. I'm like,
oh absolutely.
That sounds horrible.
That's you can
horrible to go up against.
Yeah, Aegis Slash, it's a pretty versatile mon in terms of what sets it can run. I've used a bunch of sets in the past, like a sub-toxic King Shield set is another option with Shadow Ball, or as well as just a Swords Dance, classic Swords Dance Aegis Slash, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw, and whatnot, Sacred Sword, and a special set as well. It can run a really good mixed move pool and just a Totemize to kind of sweep and stuff.
Okay, Xerneas finally going, pick 13.
Right, so keep in mind, guys, Xerneas has a Geomancy ban, so there is no Geomancy allowed on it. With that being said, Xerneas can still function as a mon that can just click attacks. It's a really good mixed attacker. Can run Choice Scarf, can run Choice Specs. It has Calm Mind as well, so while it can't set up a Geomancy, can also Calm Mind, so that's another option for it. And just a really solid fairy typing. I think one of the higher ranked fairy types in whatever pool that we're running here. I think it also has defog too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Let's double check that.
Taking a look at his move pool, like Xerneas I've never like really used without
Jeez, the
Geomancy.
page in terms of like the sets you can use for it, like I'm gonna break my scroll wheel going down. Yes, it does get defog.
Yeah, so it
like
can defog.
5 different sets that you can run in Uber. So talk about a versatile mon.
Yeah, very. And like I said, it has a really good mixed move pool, so you can run this thing with close combat as well. You know, and like Mega Horn maybe perhaps.
Kieran Black. What do you think about a T3 pick as a first round pick from Scissor here?
From Lars, yeah, I think so. He's definitely prioritizing and getting some of the lower tier mons, and I should say quotes lower tier because Kieran Black is a really powerful mon.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably one of the higher value picks for tier 3. So I guess if, you know, prioritizing in that is pretty smart for him to get that Pokemon, though I probably personally would not have gone that far round 1 just because there are so many like really great tier 1 and tier 2 picks.
Yeah, and you know, as round like the 14th pick, like you're gonna get to pick again in like 5 picks. I guarantee Kieran Black wasn't going anywhere. So I feel like this, at least if you were gonna grab Kieran back, it should have been on the way back around.
I do remember that Lars used this mon in I think GBA before, so he does know how to use it well, I think. So maybe that's why he wanted to get it first, since it's something that's familiar with him, or maybe he just wanted to bring it back to the team for this season, final Ultra Sun and Moon season of the GBA.
All right, 15 Migirna going to Jolt. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'm
You might know about Migirna. Why don't you talk about that?
I've come across it a few times, not in any draft leagues, but just in like gear shift on the ladders and stuff.
Yeah.
Soul Heart is, you know, when something faints, its special attack goes up. Floor Cannon, Flash Cannon, like, it's got some great stab. That gets some great boosts. With it being you said you can't pair tier 1s or 2 Ubers with Z crystals. Are you able to do
Correct.
Zs with Magearna or no?
No. So
No,
Magearna
okay.
cannot run a Z move. The only Pokemon that we allowed to run a Z crystal that were in tier 2 are Celesteela, Lando T, and Tapu Koko.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so even though Magearna can't run a Z, it can still do a lot of things. It can.
Oh yeah, and
it
it's
can
got
Calm Mind
great
shift gear.
coverage too. Like, can run it with Calm Mind, can run it with an AV, can go for the gear shift. Like, has crazy coverage, gets Thunderbolt somehow. Like,
Yeah, and
access to Magnet Rise to avoid some of that
a move
ground
that you
weakness.
see, a move that you see this thing run in Ubers is Heart Swap, I think. So you can actually steal boosts from an opponent. So I'm kind of curious to see if any Ubers would run Calm Mind here, and then Magearna comes in, steals those boosts.
Oh my
Curious to see
gosh.
if Jolt would run that. But definitely, that's something I want to see.
It'd be interesting because it's not really going to outspeed anything that's set up on it unless they're like curse set up. So you have to make sure like you'll live whatever hit from the boosted stats of the bond you're stealing everything from.
Yeah, and it usually just does that like versus Xerneas or something because it takes the fairy type attacks really well either way.
Yeah. True. And the last pick of first round, we have Palkia coming on through. The Water Dragon. Again,
Yeah,
I'm just so
that's a
excited.
big Palkia here. It's Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina have been scooped. So I think Palkia is really cool. It's a water dragon, so there's only one other water dragon, which is Kingdra.
Right.
So this Pokemon, I don't think it has too many setup options, but it's just gonna be a mon that clicks attacks. I feel it can run something like Sub Punch, perhaps that can break through special walls, perhaps like ones that are weak to Focus Punch, like Chansey or Blissey, if anyone takes that. But other than that, you can see this thing spamming like Spatial Rend, Hydro Pump.
Yeah, I was
It can
gonna say
hold,
it's literally the only dragon that has Spatial Rend as a stab, unless you do like Arceus Dragon.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen this thing in the past run Trick Room before, I think, so it's an option for this mon to do that. It can also click T-Wave versus a lot of mons and slow them down, and then spam attacks. But it's just a really powerful mon. I think it does get bulk up though, which it can utilize, but I've never really used a bulk up Palkia, but it might be the time right now.
All right, so that's gonna be. I'm tossing us over to the overview. Give me your top 3 first round picks,
All right,
and it better not be the first 3 picks of the round.
Oh no, for sure.
But yeah, the people who went first got the best picks, and we moved on well from there. Everybody else was left playing catch up.
I do like Mewtwo Fan Nate's Mewtwo pick. I do like that a lot. Just the mascot pick right there. Definitely what I expected. In terms of quality picks, I do like the Yveltal. I can't say I don't like my own pick. I do like that a lot. Honestly, I don't think anyone really went too wrong in the first round because everybody grabbed something that was just really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm curious to see how people's teams get put together from here because there are a lot of gaps to fill in to round things out. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and transition into round 2. Oh, that's a big spoiler. Why is that all there? Round 10 overview. Okay. Let's try that again. Nope. Why? There we go. All right. Genesect getting paired with Palkia to start off. How are these all like different size slides?
I think your face might have disappeared from the thing.
Nah, I know. I had it off during the round overview. It's back. So, Genesect getting paired up with Palkia for coming back on the wheel. Oh my god, these are actually working. But why is this a randomized order?
Is it?
Bro. Yeah, because Nate's definitely not second. And now we're back at Genesect. All right. Anyway. So this is why. Okay. Let's see if in 35 seconds we actually go the order that we're supposed to. Okay, talk to me about Genesect.
Genesect, I have used a lot before in like the early OUs of Black and White when it was allowed. But I think paired with Palkia is really nice because Palkia takes fire hits for days. Genesect has a huge fire weakness, being ×4 weak to fire, while Palkia is ×4 resistant. Genesect gives him a good U-turner, very, very solid U-turner with download boost in either attack or special attack. Great U-turner. It can have a wide variety of coverage moves that it can use, like Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam. Bug Buzz is really nice as well. And I think that Genesect is just a really like solid mon for what it can do. People have to kind of, I guess, play around its weaknesses. Its ×4 weakness to fire in order to exploit it, but it also has the ability to use drives to beat some of its counters. Like the Water Drive beats Heatran pretty well. So I think it's a very like adaptable kind of mon.
Yeah, but not as quite as adaptable as the next pick, which was Mew for the Jirachi Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. And then, I do believe Munium is allowed. To answer your questions there, I do believe it is allowed.
Yeah, and then we're actually on track. Things are actually transitioning on their own. Jirachi went next. I'm a little upset that the Jirachi Chiefs did not grab Jirachi, but again, Scissor grabbing his second tier 3 mon to pair with Kyurem Black, which I think like the two of those go very well together, but they're also available in regular Draft League format. So
yeah, absolutely. Kyurem Black Jirachi has some pretty good synergy overall in terms of Jirachi taking the fairy and dragon moves that it does not like.
Yeah. Xerneas getting paired with Lando T. Like you said, Lando being one of the few that can use Z moves in the second tier.
Yeah, for sure. Xerneas Lando T, I think. So Necrostevo's, just picking some big threats for sure. And Lando T does get to run the Z Crystal from tier 2, keep in mind. So it can definitely utilize that.
Rayquaza getting picked up for round 2 with Cybertron. Can you say broken? I mean, at least it's not Mega Rayquaza, but still, like,
I think we're being told to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, it's 35 seconds to slide, guys.
All right.
I can slow it down, like, the next round, but, like, we've already been doing this for 40 minutes, and we're not even halfway through round 2, so I don't want to be here for 6 hours doing a draft analysis, guys.
Yeah, Aegislash can take the ice moves from Rayquaza. Rayquaza is just, it's such a great sweeper in terms of Dragon Dancing. It has the option to use Dragon Ascent. It can V-create things like Steel types that it gets walled by, and Earthquake the other ones. So I think it's a great mon.
Yeah, I think this pairing next from Tup with Zeraora and Shaman Sky getting paired together.
Dude, I absolutely love Zeraora. I've been using that in the APA. That mon is beautiful. That mon is so good.
Yeah, like Volt Absorb, like immediately pairing together the weakness of Shaman Sky. Like those switch-ins are so good. Then we have Dialga and Tapu Lele getting paired together. Lele is typically banned from most draft leagues. You want to tell me why?
Due to the fact that it is just really good. Same reason basically as Magearna. Like it's just difficult to switch into, and it has the psychic terrain as well. Such a great mon that can really sort of take advantage of a lot of unprepared teams, and there are just very few answers to it in draft format because you really, like in like ladder and stuff, you usually always have to keep a good Lele checker counter to it, but there's not a lot that there's not a lot that can really sort of stop it in draft. But in this in this one, I think that there are
we
a lot
at least
more
have some
options
answers
for sure.
to it. Yeah. You've grabbed Ho-Oh next.
I paired Giratina O with Ho-Oh, so like I was really happy about this. I got best defogger Giratina O, and I paired it with Ho-Oh, so
A mon that's takes half health from rocks.
Exactly, yeah.
You knew you
and they
needed
actually
the best
have some pretty good
defogger.
typing together, right? Because Giratina can take the electric attacks that Ho-Oh doesn't like, and Ho-Oh actually sponges fairy hits that Giratina doesn't like. So I think these two together can work really well.
Yeah.
With Regenerator as well. The Regenerator ability is so useful on it.
So yeah. Then Zygarde 50 getting paired up with Greninja. I don't know if I would have grabbed Zygarde 50% this early. And I don't see how it pairs super well in terms of, I mean, obviously it offers a lot of resistances. But, the 4 times ice weakness isn't really super covered well by Greninja there. But everyone already saw Nate's pick of Naganadel, so, we had the poison on the one side and the psychic on the other.
Yo, this man is rocking the speed, though. Like, look at the speed tiers that he's got. He's got Naganadel and he's got Mewtwo. Fast Mons. Beast boosting with Naganadel. Mewtwo with the Calm Minds and whatnot. I think it's a powerful offensive core that he's got going on here.
Yeah. Beast boost, too.
Yeah, Dragon Poison. A very unique type other than having, I think, Dragalge with that same typing.
Yeah. Then we have Celesteela going with Zygarde 100%. That's, I think, a great combination because obviously, like you said, Celesteela can also get the
Beast
boost, yeah, and the Z move.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, of course, one of the mons in Tier 2 that can use a Z move. Celesteela, Orlando T, and Tapu Koko. 2 of those have already gone.
And Tapu Koko going immediately next.
Ooh.
To get paired with Mega Lucario. And there are all the mons that are allowed to use Z Crystals gone out of Tier 2 before the end of the second round.
Lucario and Tapu Koko are both very offensive mons. Kind of reminds me a little bit like Nate's draft in the sense that it's just some fast-paced, offensive, sweeping potential mons. And Koko just gets up the electric terrain, which is nice as well. Good U-turner, defogger, and can potentially set up screens for Lucario too.
Yeah. Goth is my second pick. I've never really used Goth before. I know it's great in the fact that it has Shadow Tag. It's normally like a hit or miss in other draft leagues, whether it's allowed or not, or if it is, it's a Tier 1. I liked it because it would help trap and deal with a lot of the Pokemon that would try and counteract my team.
Yeah, exactly. Gothitelle can trap like special walls, for instance, that Kyurem doesn't appreciate, or just fighting types that it does not
we want
like.
to talk about special walls that Kyurem won't appreciate. Clefable coming in.
Yeah, you can't trap that and definitely take advantage of it. Gothitell's a mean mon, dude. Like, Shadow Tag? Traps? Yeah, I think the Yveltal Clefable combination is pretty solid overall. He's got the Unaware wall that can help him out there versus setup sweepers. Just a Pokemon Tier 3. She jumped down to Tier 3 from Tier 1, so I think it's a pretty solid.
Yeah, I think if you're going to drop down to Tier 3, you're going to want to pair it with the mon you already have. And then finally the Tier 1 pick from Aster, grabbing Necrozma Dawn to pair with Mega Mawile. Now, is there a little bit more of a team image coming together to pair with the Mega Mawile with the Necrozma, or do you still think he should have grabbed Necrozma first?
So I can see what he's trying to do here. Like, the first thing when I saw these two combination, these two Pokemon together, the combination I thought of was Trick Room. Necrozma Dawn is not a very particularly fast mon, so I can definitely see some kind of Trick Room option with this, going in with Mega Mawile's also slow speed.
Yeah. Then the last pick of round 2, we have 6-foot Hacks grabbing Garchomp, and I'm just going to take you guys right over to the overview so you guys can stop. We can slow things down a little bit and talk about each of these picks. So Garchomp paired with Marshadow. Disgusting. Absolutely. Like, Garchomp on its own is just a very, very good mon in typical draft league format. Has a great move pool, strong attack, and has an option for setup. And it just, yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of Leo and his picks. That team is going to be disgusting to deal with, and a lot of offensive threats.
What kinds of cores that they've picked up so far do you like the best right now?
So in terms of cores, there aren't too many people that have really put together pairings that are starting to form a core. I definitely haven't started to, but I would say like you have the Steel of a G/, and Rayquaza as the dragon. Yeah, like that fantasy core is coming together. The Kieran Black with Jirachi. And if this wasn't an Ubers League, I'd be complaining the entire time that we let somebody get those two mons together. So those are great tier 3s to pair together. That's obviously working with a fantasy core. I'd expect to see a fairy type there soon. And then Bug Steel for Genesect, and then the Palkia as well. So there's a couple, and Zygarde and Celesteela. Like, the cores are slowly starting to come together. It doesn't look like anybody's really doing the elemental core with their first couple of picks, but I think that's just because of what's available in Ubers.
Right.
Oh, somebody said I've got the best combo of the round. Oh, Robo, thank you. Yeah, Envy's team is fat.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say it was as fat as some of the other cores I've seen. Like, for instance, the Zygarde 100 and the Celesteela is a pretty fat core. But I think that, yeah, my core definitely is pretty bulky, but it can also like hit hard at the same time, I feel.
Yeah, it's all right. We got some bulk coming from the start of round 3 here, which I updated to 40 seconds. Calm down, people. All right. Going with Ferrothorn coming on in a round 4, or a tier 4. So we have Garchomp paired with Ferrothorn and Marshadow. So I think Leo recognized that he had a very strong offensive presence and needed some utility to help his Pokemon out, as well as offer some defensive capabilities to his team to deal with the threats that these other Mons can't.
Yeah, he definitely has some great synergy, I can see for sure. Tier 4 Ferrothorn, I think, is a really good value Mon because it provides a lot of really solid resistances to his team and gives him the ability to set up rocks and spikes and give him hazards in that area. I think it's great with Marshadow, especially since Marshadow will function really well versus teams that have a bunch of hazards on their side, because it just chips stuff down, makes it difficult to switch out of it. Yeah,
that the Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet combo is just devastating. Torn T coming in for round 3 here. Regenerator, great Pokemon. Obviously, if we can get some like rain core set up later, make sure those hurricanes hit at 100%. But Torn is a great lead, great Pokemon, great speed tier, and just has some abilities in momentum with U-turn, can run Taunt Defog, and then has a very wide move pool that allows it to kind of just deal with every threat in front of it.
Exactly.
Especially with if it becomes a Z Captain as well, to make sure that Hurricane doesn't miss, hitting him with that Supersonic Sky Strike. Infernape coming on through to pair with Clefable and Yveltal. I don't know if I agree with getting 2 tier 3s. But, my pick. Somebody was like, if Tyler pairs his Mons with Tapu Fini, it's GG. Guess what I picked for round 3, ladies and gentlemen? Tapu Fini. I'm stupid excited. I think this pairs very well with Kyurem White. I think Goth coming on through to deal with everything that else. The Misty terrain. Just a nice defensive Pokemon that can really help with the defog aspect of things. Has access to Moonblast, Scald, can taunt and deal with a lot. And yeah, I'm excited for that. And then why don't you talk to me about Weavile going on through? As
let's see what we got here. So Weavile, I think, really solid Pursuit Trapper, fast knockoff user as well. So I can kind of see sort of the fast-paced nature of Tom's team with Mega Lucario, Coco, and Weavile. But all three of those can definitely just be really difficult threats to outrun. And I do like that pick quite a bit.
It's definitely a team that'll struggle in Trick Room, but...
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it does have a lot of great setup options, I feel.
Yeah. I don't know why Nexus felt the need to have the fattest team of the draft, but he paired his Celesteela and Zygarde with a Mega Venusaur. My dude, like, I think you're going to have the girthiest team of the draft because, oh my lord, the fat.
He has the synergy.
Yeah, they all pair so beautifully together.
Like. I know, yeah. You're worried about the fire weakness? You got that Zygarde 100. You're worried about the ice weakness? Like, I'm sure Celesteela can just eat up hits. Mega Venusaur has a thick fat. It has the ability to sponge fairy hits really well. Poison typing is nice. And yeah, I have seen Mega Venusaur's usage in Ubers as well. So the thing is definitely, I think, viable versus some of the other mons. I think it can also sort of check, like, maybe even Marshadow because of how bulky it is.
Yeah, I mean, the bulk always surprises me on Mega Venusaur, just like how well it takes hits. Skarmory coming on through for Nate as his third pick to add some utility to his Mewtwo and Naganadel and just really help fill in some missing roles on his team. Great lead Pokemon, has access to both rocks and spikes, if I'm not mistaken.
You're correct.
Yes. Oh my god, I know things about Pokemon. Aren't you proud of me, MV?
Absolutely, bro. You already know.
Speed Boost Greninja getting paired with, or Speed Boost Blaziken getting paired with Protein Greninja and Zygarde. The fact that this was available for Kyle to grab round 3, I'm a little upset with. And the fact that he also gets to pair it with Protein Greninja is just, oh dear God.
Thankfully, there is no speed passing allowed. So that is really good because I used to see Blaziken back in the day just going for like speed pass into like different Ubermons. So that's something that we thankfully won't be seeing. However, I think that Speed Boost Blaziken can check a lot of different things just by getting that speed boost. It can run a whole lot of items as well, which can help it out. And does have access to Swords Dance, which makes it a very dangerous sweeper.
Mega Diancie getting paired with your team. Talk to me about your Rocky Boy.
Absolutely. So I've got the nice fairy type here. This helps me out a little bit also versus like Yveltals and things. Dragon type Pokemon. Magic Bounce is super useful. So this is a support mon for Ho-Oh. So I have Giratina Origin for defogging, and then Mega Diancie as a sort of an offensive or a sort of a more a Pokemon that can sort of offensively bounce back hazards. And I think the Magic Bounce ability is really nice on it. It has a really solid speed tier as well, and some great coverage overall.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, and I think like the synergy between your teams is like just like it's disgusting. Like you have the hazard removal, you have the ability to bounce the hazards back, and you're definitely setting up so that Ho-Oh can be successful. But I don't know how well Ho-Oh would fare against Zapdos, Goldo's pick.
So I do like Goldo's draft a bit. So he has the Dialga, Tapu Lele, Zapdos. Zapdos tier 3, keep in mind, so that's a pretty good pick. It gives him a defogger, which is nice. Dialga has the option to set up rocks, while Zapdos can easily defog.
Yep. And also some Volt Switch shenanigans to give him momentum.
Exactly, yep.
And who would not appreciate a Volt Switch is my Lodic coming on through for Old Man Tup, dropping all the way down to T4 in round 3 here to grab. Looks like he's trying to fill out the rest of his Elemental Core.
Getting some very diverse and colorful types, I would say.
Yeah, right. I've seen competitive Milotic end games, so just a very tough draft.
Tough mon.
Yeah,
bulky,
and tough mon.
It's a bulky mon. Like it can really be fat, and it gives him a good fire resistance too.
Mamoswine coming on in from Cybertron.
Nice Mamoswine here. Looks like Mamoswine's on a diet.
Yeah, right. My dude drop some C's down, man.
All that winter fat's gone. It's almost summertime.
Right? Yeah, it's almost he's shedding his summer weight.
Yeah, Mamoswine's great, I think. And it gives them stealth rocks. Priority Ice Shard, which is nice versus a lot of different dragons. It's just a great mon in terms of ground ice being very anti-meta, sort of. So it can really give a lot of teams trouble that aren't prepared for it. Don't have like that bulky water that they need.
Yeah, I think I had the slides out of order here. Let me look at round 3 real quick. Oh, it just jumped on me. So, or it was just edited wrong, actually. Tentacruel coming on through with Lando T and Xerneas. Tentacruel, great Pokemon. Rapid Spinner, good speed tier, offers some bulk, has access to Toxic Spikes, so it has the ability to both set hazards and remove them. Guys, please do some math. 176 slides to go through. If you say slow down, like a minute per slide, we will be here for 3 hours for the draft. That doesn't include the round analysis, doesn't include recaps, and doesn't include the final discussions nor the intro or anything else. I love all of you, but I do not want to talk about Draft League Pokemon for 3.5 to 4 hours. Azumarill getting picked up.
Yeah, I love Azumarill. Kyurem Black Jirachi Azumarill, Dragon Fairy Steel Core. That, like, I mean, it can belly drum, it can hit hard, but they have huge power.
Yeah, and get some priority in Aqua Jet. So, yeah, next round will be 10 seconds because you guys all complained. Mega Aerodactyl getting paired up with Jolt, and I will go ahead and put us on the overview screen so you guys can see all the picks. And, so, I would say the cores are starting to come together a little bit better now, even more so. I really like, I mean, I'm a little biased. I think I know the way my team is shaping out is looking really, really good.
Yeah, your team is really, really kind of scary.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody finished a full fantasy core with the round. Oh, yes. Actually, Scissor did. Fairy, Steel, and Dragon finished there.
Yep.
So
it looks more like Lars's team looks more sort of like a standard draft sort of.
Right, exactly. Like if this was any other league, I'd be like, oh my god, that team's nasty. Like how do you get all 3?
Yeah, yours is like the Uber version of what you'd see in a regular one, because you'd see like Kyurem Black Tapu Fini, right? But now you got the Kyurem White Tapu Fini. Like that's taking it to the next level, dude.
Oh yeah, Bulu didn't get shown. Oops. Well, Bulu was Jolt's, or not Jolt's.
Danza's pick.
Danza's pick. So that's another core finish with Fairy Steel Dragon.
I think that Bulu pairs really well with Palkia because it gives it some residual HP back, which is nice. And he's also completed his Dragon Fairy Steel core as well.
Yeah. All right. I am prepping for round 4. Who's your favorite pick of round 3?
Favorite pick of round 3? I think Ferrothorn's a really good value pick for tier 4. That's a phenomenal pick. I think Finny completes your core really well. I do think Mega DNC is something that
I've always wanted it, and it always gets taken from me.
Didn't I snipe you in APA with that?
One of them, I believe so. I really wanted it, and it was gone like 2 or 3 picks just before mine.
Yeah. I think Joel's team also is looking pretty cool with the Magearna, Mew, and the Mega Arrow.
Yeah, and I do like how Tup has Zeraora both to help Shaman and Milotic and get some free health boosts. Like he's begging people to
click Thunderbolt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And people are gonna be so afraid to.
Hey, everybody, let us know what your favorite team is so far with the picks that we have going on right now.
Yeah. All right. Round 4, 45 seconds. Oh, see, it already started without you guys. Hang on. Stop when not visible. There we go. Hawlucha getting paired with Tapu Bulu. The fact that this was a wheel pick, obviously the two match together perfectly. You can run Grassy Seed, Unburden, and pretty much give yourself just any sort of setup and just disgusting.
Yeah, he got Bulu, so that's gonna be nice. He's gonna be getting that unburden boost with the seeds, the grassy seed. So
yep. So the speed, the defense boost, and potentially as well as the grassy surge heal, to get behind a sub and then just destroy everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Next pick being Scolipede. Still waiting on a tier 1 from Jolt. Curious when that'll come through. But Scolipede, Bug Poison obviously has speed boost. Not allowed in the speed passing is not allowed here. But still has access to what? Spikes and T-spikes?
Yeah, correct. Can still run its speed boost as usual. Swords Dance, great coverage moves, and a potential Zmon if he wants to make it that.
Yeah. And a great speed tier just to begin with, even without the speed boosts. Yeah, see, you guys asked for 45 seconds, so now MV and I are like, how long can we talk about Scolipede for? Tangrowth coming on through. Honestly, this draft is so, like, regular to me. I'm just, like, mind blown waiting for the uber power to come through. But I think that makes sense. Like, you put together a good team, and then you find a way to add in the ubers to supplement what you know already works well. So Tangrowth, Jirachi, Kirambi, and Azumarill, like, that's a good squad. You can obviously get Regenerator with Tangrowth, can run it with an AV, has access to a variety of moves, and just a great defensive Pokemon overall.
Yeah, exactly. Regenerator is just a nice way to pivot into his other mons.
Exactly. Next, coming up, we have Hydreigon, a mon I've always wanted to run, but never have had an opportunity to do so. Why don't you talk to me about the Dark Dragon with the Levitate ability?
Absolutely, sure. So Hydreigon, I think, is nice. It gives him Dark Dragon, which is pretty unique. It's something that I think used to be run a lot back in like other Uber generations before. But the Stab Dark Pulse and Dragon move is just really nice. It's a lot of things. Great coverage overall, and a pretty solid speed tier. Not hitting the base 100s though, so that's something that it has as a downfall.
Just needs to, you know, hit the gym, lose some weight, and creep up to that 100 speed tier.
Yeah, it does have potential defog options though, and it can be viable with the Z move as well, and it has that U-turn if it wants to run like fast Scarf U-turn.
Yeah, Toxapex as a tier 4. That's how you know we're in Ubers. Just another Regenerator mon going this round. Water Poison has access to Baneful Bunker, T-Spikes, just an overall fat Pokemon. And also has the ability to heal with Recover.
And yep, Recover Regenerator, good mon overall. I think I can just click T-Spikes. I think it's really good for his team because he has a lot of mons that can really utilize like just Pokemon getting worn down from T-Spikes, and it's a really great pivot mon similar to Tangrowth, I think.
Yeah. I'm never gonna be able to like talk positive things about Mega Scissor. I think it's great.
Before,
I have, and I was not a fan of it whatsoever. I think Scissor losing an item makes it worse. Regardless of whatever boost you get, Scissor without an item is just very difficult to utilize when hidden power exists.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great Pokemon. If he had drafted regular Scissor to pair with the rest of this team, I think it would have been absolutely nasty. But I don't know. I'm just not a big fan.
Like I remember when you used Mega Scissor.
It died every week. I think I got 1 kill an entire season with it.
And then you used regular Scissor.
Yeah.
Akaberry actually saved you a bunch of time.
Yep, exactly. I used regular Scissor first draft of APA, and I went 3-1 with it. So, do love me some regular Scissor. You know who does not like, or who Scissor doesn't like, rather, would be Victini coming on through as the next pick. Yeah, Scissor, Mega Scissor, definitely not going to appreciate it because, I mean, obviously, no matter what berry you put on Scissor, it's not living a hit from Victini. It's just a very scary Pokemon, a lot of versatility to it, hits very hard, is Just, oh my god. I have to get water. I'm going to let you talk about your baby Alolan Muck while I'm gone.
Absolutely. So I paired Alolan Muck with this team because I wanted a sort of, I guess, dark or I guess more of a ghost sponge that can take hits really well. Really solid pursuit trapper. And I just wanted to make this team look as much of an Uber team as I possibly could. I think it's really solid overall. Tier 4 Alolan Muck is, I think, another value pick. Because it can actually, and of course you guys know me using Alolan Muck in GBA Season 7. I innovated that nice 50% berry set for the singles meta, I guess. You don't usually see that in like VGC and stuff and doubles. But yeah, I do like Alolan Muck a lot, and it has some good synergy because I do have Ho-Oh and Giratina to avoid ground type attacks, and it gives me some solid resistances and immunities. Next pick we got here is going to be Excadrill. So Kyle has decided to pick up a nice rapid spinner for his team. He does have 2 ground types though, but I don't think they'll really collide. He does have now a steel type, so that's pretty cool. I think that Drill's kind of looking tall. It's looking like he has some kind of growth spurt going on right here. But yeah, I think like overall, it's a good mon. Like it's a solid mon. If you can like maybe get a sand setter for it, that might be pretty cool.
You enjoy talking to yourself, man?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking to that.
So Sylveon getting paired with Nate's, finishing up. No, yes, Naganadell's Poison Dragon, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so there goes Nate's full fantasy core. Sylveon, Skarmory, Naganadel, and then Mewtwo is the Uber rounding it all out together. Like,
yeah, I think Sylveon gives him some good, I guess, wish support, heal bell support, gives him a fatter mon, and it can also be used offensive choice spec, so it can also be a Pokemon that can be difficult to switch into, or a Pokemon that can just take hits for days.
why Nexus, dude? Primarina, like, there's so much bulk, man. Like, I suppose the mentality behind Nexus is like, if I have to play Ubers and everything has big boosts, I want everything to take a hit and live it.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I love Primarina. I think it's in normal leagues a huge value pick at tier 3. It's a tier 4 in this league. It is a surprisingly great Pokemon. I think a lot of people underestimate its abilities. And it's just its ability to either soak hits or dish out mad damage. Then Gliscor coming on through. I want to talk about another fat Pokemon. Toxicheal, flying, or obviously ground immunity. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking at Gliscor for my own team, to be honest. I mean, it's just such a great rocker, defogger in one Pokemon. It can do a lot of different things. It has a very useful ability in Poison Heal, so that's nice. And momentum with U-turn potentially. Great at knocking off other people's items. And a good ground type for his team overall.
Yeah, and a great lead for most games.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you get the Protect off, or the first move, you get the wonderful, beautiful Toxicheals. Volcarona coming in for my own team as my 4th pick. I figured Volcarona, everything coming on through, paired really well with Feeny. Gave me an opportunity to get set up and then just potentially sweep some games.
It's so good with Feeny, dude.
Yeah,
it's
Feeny clearing the
amazing.
hazards that would normally cripple Volcarona is great in my mind. It's kind of a discount combo of what you have with Ho-Oh and Giratina D.
I like it, dude. I like it a lot. Good option to Quiver Dance as well. It's nice. Z-Crystal potential.
Yeah. Suicune, another one of your babies coming on through. Paired with Infernape, Clefable, and Yveltal.
So he's got a kind of a bulky core going on here a little bit. With Clefable, Suicune. Yveltal can be kind of bulky too a little bit. Infernape is nice for, I guess, taking or dealing with the grass types that Suicune doesn't like. I would want to see some kind of way to deal with electric types moving on in the draft, though.
Yeah. Tyler equals discount MV. Wow. I mean, you're not wrong. But, I mean, if I wish I was discount MV, like, that's actually a compliment. I feel like I'm more like discount. I don't want to throw any shade, so.
Just stop yourself just in time.
Yeah, I'll just stop right there. Rotom Wash coming on through. Again, another mon that I feel like is a huge value at tier 4, because it typically is tier 1 in most draft leagues, if not tier 2. And just the immunity to ground offers some great offensive presence, volt switch ability for momentum, and can really just soak up some hits for the team and cripple teams as well with Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, he's got the volt turn momentum going on with Tornadus Therian as well as Rotom Wash. And I don't like Rotom Wash because it takes my Ho-Oh stab moves.
Yeah. Then we have... Oh, wow. Way to go. Whoever did these slides didn't even put Thundurus on the name. We have the picture, but no... That's, Oh, never mind. There it is. Thundurus Eye. Yeah, I'm just...
His team is kind of... So Leo's team is kind of looking... It's just kind of looking like a black and white team with Marshadow, basically, is what I'm looking at it right now. Or like an XOY or black and white team with Marshadow. Garchomp, Thundurus, Incarnate, and Ferrothorn, plus Marshadow.
Yeah, let me go ahead and move over to the round 4 overview. Let you talk about that while I get ready for round 5.
For sure, for sure. I think the teams are coming out pretty well overall. Really satisfied with how my team is rounding up. I'm hoping that you guys agree with me. What are you guys' favorite
Nah,
teams?
man. Team's crap.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that like a lot of people have completed, or I guess a good amount of people have done their Dragon Fairy Steel cores. Still some of them to go, of course, if they want to do that. But I think a lot of quality picks in this round overall. And a lot of like tier 3, tier 4 lower picks that were quality. To be honest, like I feel like a lot of the teams are they're just getting like really good. I don't know what I was going to say there. I lost my train of thought.
It's all good, man. Ready to jump into round 5 here.
Yeah.
Snorlax getting paired up with Thundurus, so a little bit more defensive bulk, considering that there are 3 offensive Pokemon here in... Well, I mean, I suppose you would say, like, Thundurus is offensive, but it's also, with the Prankster, like, has the option to offer some, like, support roles.
Yeah.
With Taunt Defog, so...
And so, like...
Does it have
like
access to
Snorlax
Taunt?
has thick fat, right?
Yeah.
So it can help him with the fire ice weakness that Garchomp and Ferrothorn has. So that's something to note. And Marshadow is immune to fighting. Snorlax is weak to only fighting. So I think it's a great pick for him. And the Gluttony ability is always used on it.
Nidoqueen getting picked up next here.
So after picking up the ground type in Nidoqueen, tier 4, I think it's a pretty good value. Just give him Stealth Rocks, Toxic Spikes potentially, as well as a plethora of coverage in Bolt Beam and Flamethrower and Sludge Wave are the power things like that.
I've been running Nidoking for the first time and really been enjoying all the different sets you can run with it, and Nidoqueen is arguably better, so I can only imagine how well it fits in with the rest of his team. Roserade going up. I love this Pokemon. I know you love this Pokemon. Technician boosted moves, and just all around a great Pokemon in its ability to sponge up hits, offer up damage, and toss out some utility in T-Spikes. And regular spikes, right?
Firewater Grass Core, too.
Yeah, and in any other league, I think Infernape, Suicune, Roserade as a Firewater Grass Core would just decimate. I grabbed Nihilego. I've always wanted to run this Pokemon. It is a massive value pick in tier 4. Power Gem, Sludge Wave. Obviously, I have a crippling ground weakness at the moment. But, what do you think, man? How's my team looking?
It's looking kind of scary. I see a Beast Booster, I see a Quiver Dancer, I see Misty Terrain, and then I see a Shadow Tag user with Kiramoid.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
And this mon gives you a Stealth Rocker as well, so that's something that's good too.
Yeah. Amoonguss in tier 4. And Regenerator, great mon. Access to Spore. Gives him a chance to put something to sleep, swap out, heal up, and gets his faster mon set up. And really, really bulky mon.
He needed a Water Sponge, and I think this gives it to him, so that's really good. And a Pokemon that can help him pivot into other faster threats, for example. Like, he could run easily an eject button on Amoonguss and then get into Mega Lucario that way.
Oh my god. Is Rotom Heat an oven? Is this the first time I've ever noticed this?
Rotom Heat is a toaster oven, yes.
Oh my god, that's the first time I've seen the door down. Like, wow.
What did you think it was, like a garage door?
I have no clue what I thought it was. I just assumed it was like a... I suppose that's why he's got like oven mitt hands, looking like you know, hamburger helper over there. Yeah, so Rotom Heat completing his core of finally some offensive presence for Nexus, but Fire, Water, Grass with the Mega Venusaur and the Primarina. So...
yeah. Fire, Water, Grass, Dragon Fairy, Steel, completed.
Yep. Now he just needs a fat Wish Passer. Yeah, that's what we don't want. Nate grabbing Mega Gyarados, which I think gives him the Psychic Immunity, switch in on some hits that would be normally fatal to Naganadel, so he can kind of bait those out and get a free switch in on an already Mega Gyarados, obviously, because the first one's not going to take it on.
I like this pick a lot for his team, actually, because it helps Mewtwo, because it can take the Dark and Ghost type attacks. And it's just a really powerful Dragon Dancer for the team. Goes well with Sylveon because the Wish support and Heal Bell support is nice for it. Especially for like a sub Gyarados set or something. But yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, and a big old shrimp. Rabambi coming on through for Kyle. Mon I've never used, but extremely fast, access to sticky webs, and hits very hard in its unique typing for both sides of things.
He just wants to make sure nobody's faster than him. Drafted fast Mon, and he's like, you know what, I have fast Mons here, but I don't want people to be faster than me. I don't want people to snap on a Choice Scarf and be faster. I'm gonna run sticky webs on it, and that's exactly what I think he did.
Yep. Keldeo for yourself.
Yeah, I picked up Keldeo here, so I do like this Mon a lot. I wanted a Water type Mon that was kind of fast and that could kind of break things with you know, the moves that it has. Keldeo I think is really cool. I used it back in GBA Season 6, and I feel like just with the speed tier that it has, a lot of Uber Mons are like base 90s, base 95s and stuff. Between 90 and 100, a little bit more maybe. Keldeo can help me out there. The water and fighting coverage that it gets can hit up a lot of Mons for some good damage. It's a fast taunter as well, which is cool. And yeah, it has setup options with like Calm Mind and stuff, so I think it's a great Mon.
Yeah.
That can function well with Z Crystal potentially as well.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with that setup, especially if you're going up against Goldoa. Is it Goldo A? That's what we're going to call Ditto, you know, coming on through.
This is actually a Mon that I wanted in the next round, actually. So, like, in this entire draft, I would say maybe kind of sniped, but, like, I was really looking at this Mon for sure. But in the entire draft, I wanted this Mon, and it got taken. So, unfortunate, but it is snipe Goldoa.
Geo. I know, right, guys?
Yeah. I think Ditto is really solid, especially in the Ubers League, because you can copy essentially another of those giant titans and claim it for yourself.
Yeah. Battle Bond Greninja coming on through finally as Tup grabs a T1. Tell me about Battle Bond, man. I'm not very familiar because it is normally banned.
So Battle Bond Greninja is a Pokemon that I think is. It can be a threat. It can definitely be a threat by transforming. I think this was in tier 1. Okay, here's the thing, right? So this Pokemon is actually tier 2. However, Tup used it for his tier 1 pick. That's why I was a little confused.
Oh.
Battlebond Greninja is actually tier 2, guys. And so what Tup did, I think, was he grabbed that for his tier 1 slot. So that's
as opposed to it being a free pick.
Yeah, I had to check the tier list because I was like, there's no way this thing is tier 1.
Megalopony coming on through at a tier 3.
Yeah, Megalopony is really good, I think. I've seen it before in Ubers, and like one of the main appeals that it has, besides being fast and having the scrappy ability, is Healing Wish. So if he wants to, he can Healing Wish one of his Ubers back to life, like his Rayquaza or his Aegislash.
Yeah, and some solid fake out support as well. Mega Charizard X, seems like some Megas are going this round.
Zardex, okay, that is pretty good mon. Like I've seen it.
Yeah,
before. I've never really seen it in Ubers though, but I'm not sure how it'd do. But it's just a Dragonmon. Like I guess he already had Hydreigon, but Zardex gave them another dragon as another.
And some more key immunities, and
Yeah,
you know, not as weak to ice as Hydreigon's gonna be.
Nice double dragon. So Zardex Xerneas sounds kind of scary together.
Yeah, I would almost like swap out the Hydreigon.
Maybe
for something. We'll see how the rest of the team comes together.
He has options. It just gives him options, I think. So it's definitely
tier 4 Conkeldurr. That's a value pick if I've ever seen one. But this is a mon that typically goes undrafted in most draft leagues that I've been a part of.
Conkeldurr, I think, is a pretty good mon. Like, yeah, like usually I've seen this thing, I guess, wandering either around tier 1 or tier 2, depending on the league.
Yep.
Tier 4 Conkeldurr, I think, here is pretty solid. It gives him a fighting type mon that can function kind of well in terms of breaking down steel types, perhaps, that here in Black and Jirachi don't usually appreciate. So that's always nice. Guts ability is super useful too, to absorb status and use that with its ability. Pretty good mon, I guess.
Yeah. Manaphy coming on through as well for Jolt. Pick 15 of round 5 here. Tail Glow. Bulk. Just base 100s all around, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at me knowing stuff. Aren't you proud, man? Look how far I've come in a year.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, I do like Manaphy a lot. Actually, it was something I was gonna get if Keldeo got sniped. I was thinking about getting Ditto this round, but I was like, I think Keldeo is just really worth it for me because it can help me with a lot of different Pokemon that I was looking at. So I think Manaphy is also a great move. Gives him another Z potential mon. Keep in mind there are only 2 captains, 2 Z captains.
Yeah, it's not free Z.
Yeah, so if he wants to, so like his potential ones were Mew, Scolipede, and Manaphy. So he'll have to choose between them.
And this was the team that came together as I was putting the drafts, and I was like, oh my god, he has Bulu, Hawlucha, and Heatran. So
Scary with Palkia and Genesect too.
Yeah. Then you add in.
Think about it like this: he took the Pokemon that you usually see in the Genesect.
Whoa!
What happened?
Sorry, I had some spoilers start going.
As I was saying, Heatran actually is a Pokemon that was like usually switched in on Genesect, and he got the counter to Genesect.
Yeah, the one mon that could have actually dealt with it, like trapped and killed it. Yeah, it's rigged, guys. Yeah, this is totally a live draft. Everyone's taking 30 seconds to type their picks in, and we throw these graphics together. So round 5. I'm gonna grab some more water because I am thirsty. Apparently, thirsty for some good Pokemon, man. Yep. It's just so exciting watching this draft. Everything's coming on through so quickly, so well. So the best pickups for this round, I think you can disagree with me as I go to get some more water here. I would say that the Ditto is always going to be a good pick. I mean, you can roast me if you want, but like in a league filled with stupid powerful Pokemon, to have something that can come in and take advantage of that is huge.
Oh, I agree with you completely. I was going to say that I really like the Ditto pick for this round, especially since it just stops people from setting up and stops people from trying to sweep. Right? It's a great counter sweeper in terms of copying stat boosts and whatnot. I do also really like the Bulu pickup. Sorry, the Heatran pickup. It goes so well with this team. Like, it goes so well with Bulu. Bulu Tran is just a phenomenal core overall, and gives them that Fire, Water, Grass core. Palkia, Bulu, Heatran. That's a phenomenal core. With Genesect, you know, having that Pokemon to support its Fire type weakness is really great. Definitely do agree that Goldora, like, his speed tiers are not that bad. Like, he can slap on a Choice Scarf and be good, or just have the Unburden. But I guess maybe a speed tier that's higher might work out. I guess. I think a lot of the cores are really forming pretty well together. But what do you all think? Let me know. I think, like, I really do like my team so far as well, just because.
Oh, shocker.
Dude, I was picking I was so hyped every time I was picking, because I was getting like basically. I was getting like all the picks that I wanted.
All right, Florges getting tossed in alongside Bulu, Lucha, Heatran, Genesect, and Palkia.
Firewater, Grass completed. Dragon Fairy, Steel completed. Actually, no, this is a secondary fairy type, so gives him some wish support, I guess, which is nice. If he doesn't want to bring Bulu one week, he can bring Florges, and he can click wish. He can bring back Palkia. He can heal Bell his maybe paralyzed Genesect and whatnot.
Yeah,
but I definitely think that he should get some kind of hazard control, because Florges, while it does have defog, I don't consider it to be
a strong,
very
defogger.
reliable
Yeah.
defogger. Like, I haven't really seen it click defog.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Krookodile coming on through as for Jolt's pick. I love this Mon. Intimidate as well as Moxie. Gets rocks, great typing, and can hit hard on both fronts. And you really don't want to give this a chance. Like, it's so fast, and the second it starts climbing up, like, it is just a threat with knockoff or EQ, and then also a pursuit trapper in some ways.
I think the dark type is really nice, because there are a lot of like psychic type Ubers and ghost type Ubers, like the Necrozma form that Astra picked up, or the Mewtwo that Mewtwo has. So like, I think Krookodile, like, the dark typing is super valuable in this specific format. And of course, Lars picks up his favorite Pokemon in the world, the one that he always wants to use in regular drafts, Sheer Force Lando I. So he picks up his tier 2 Mon in Sheer Force. So that is.
I'm amazed that Sheer Force Lando I lasted that long, to be honest.
Thankfully he's not going to click Earth Power versus me while Blunder's playing. You guys remember that narration.
Slurpuff coming on through. T5.
So tier 5 Slurpuff gives him a Belly Drum user, gives him sticky webs potentially.
This thing gets webs too. Jesus.
It does get webs, yeah, which is pretty good. I think it's pretty good for him. He has a lot of like mid to speed tier mons that can really utilize that, like Lando T, like a Specs Hydreigon, Zard X Xerneas. All appreciate webs, I think.
Yeah. Wobbuffet. Oh my god. Why are all the T5s going right now? Like, wow.
Wobbuffet's a very, very good pick though for tier 5. Because of Shadow Tag.
Yep.
So essentially, like, with Wobbuffet, you'd want to use that, because I've used it before. You want to use that thing to on Pokemon into something that would allow you to switch out and set up. I think Wobbuffet goes really well with Rayquaza, because Rayquaza is a great Dragon Dance sweeper, and Wobbuffet just gives it an easy time for it to do that. Similarly, he can Encore something and then set up with Aegislash, for instance. That's another big threat. So I do like that pick a lot, and that was something I was also looking at for myself, but kind of glad he got it because it fits really well with this team.
Yeah. And then top grabbing the Psychic Dragon Latias here for his free pick.
So Top's getting a lot of unique Pokemon and a lot of like, I don't know. I think his mons are pretty good. Like, he has Healing Wish support on Shaman and Lati, so he can like heal up a bunch of his stuff too.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I think each of the mons are like really good in their own right, but I think these last couple of picks have not really offered much in terms of like a cohesive team.
Yeah.
Donphan getting grabbed here. Next, Rocks and Rapid Spin. Leo picks this mon all the time. Don't know why.
Yeah, I do like Donphan. Sturdy, of course, is there. Keep in mind, guys, Custat Berry is released, so a lot of these Sturdy mons would love running that. Give them a Rapid Spinner for the team. Grid Ground type Pokemon that he did not previously have. And yeah, I do like Donphan. Something I was kind of looking at as well for myself, but I do have some plans in mind, as you'll soon see.
Yeah. Bronzong coming on through for you.
I picked up a tier 5 Bronzong. All right. Dragon Fairy Steel Core completed. And Bronzong, I think, is amazing because it can get up rocks. It has levitate ability. Very bulky mon, has useful abilities in levitate and heat proof depending on the matchup. Gyro Ball hits extremely hard, gives me the option to click Trick Room as well. So Trick Room with a little muck, welcome to the Trick House. And yeah, I do like Bronzong. I think it's a really solid value pick and a great steel type to complement my team, giving me 2 types I didn't already have.
Yeah. Thunder T going to the Miami Don fans. I do love Thunderous T. I think it pairs well with either Zygarde's the immunity for the electric immunity, or you have Excadrill's ground too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have 3 ground immunity or electric immunities currently. Kyle
just does not want to be hit with an electric. Right, let's be honest. Let's be serious here. Kyle does not want to get hit with the bolt. He's like, I'm gonna bring the bolt to you. You ain't bringing the bolt to me.
He wants nothing touching Greninja at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrakion for Mewtwo fan Nate. I don't know. I don't know if I really I haven't used Terrakion before. I know it can be very, very good. I'm just not. It has a lot of weaknesses in my mind. And
I think his team can patch it up though. Like I feel like his squad that he has right now, Terrakion fits so well. It looks like it just belongs there on the team. With Skarmory, Sylveon supporting Terrakion, as well as the weaknesses that it has, and Mega Gyarados too. I think that it's a great Pokemon to set up not only rocks, but it can also be a Z user. It can have a choice card for a choice band to wall break. I think it works pretty well for his team overall.
What do you think about Yuxi fitting well for Nexus's team?
Fat.
Right.
Super fat.
You're like, all right, Nexus.
So difficult to break down. This is going to be such a difficult team to break down.
Everyone's shedding their winter weight. Nexus is putting it on.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He has so much potential to sponge hits, and I think even then he can hit hard with it. Zygarde can set up. Celesteela can still hit hard on its own. I would like to see some wall breakers, but I think that other than that, this team is going to be very difficult to just break down, and you're going to need your own kind of good wall breakers to do that.
Yeah. Tom grabbing Latios as his other tier 3 pickup. Pretty much the same as Latias, right? There's really no difference.
So the main difference is Latias has more bulk than Latios. Latios is more offenses. Another key defining feature is that Latias has Healing Wish while Latios has Memento. That could be a key factor in this match because he can Memento and then try to set up with Mega Lucario or with Weavile perhaps. So that's an option for him. It gives him another Defogger along with Coco and Gliscor. And just a great speed tier and 2 types that he did not already have. Good resistances as well to fire, water, immunity to ground, electric.
Yeah. So my pick was Mega Aggron to finish out my big team. I think this mon was perfect. It's everything I needed to eat up all of the issues that I had in my team. So Mega Aggron, just fat Pokemon with some great bulk. Feeny, Kyurem White, Mega Aggron for the Fairy Dragon Steel core. I'm so pumped. I mean, obviously somebody said Mega Metagross would have been a good pick. I agree, but I think I needed something more defensive because I have so many offensive setups.
Yeah, and the pure steel type is really good too for your team.
Yeah.
Not being weak to anything like what Metagross is like Dark Pulse or stuff like that, Shadow Ball.
Yeah. Super fast Jolteon, value pick at T5. Fits really well with the team. I think Jolteon's always, I mean, it pretty much runs the same thing. You have like Shadow Ball, Volt Switch, T-Bolt, and some hidden power like HP Ice every time, but it's because it's reliable.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Like
And then obviously
Jolteon's
you have
fast
Volt
mon.
Absorb too, which gives it the
Gives him-
immunity.
Exactly, yeah.
Aster grabbing Tyranitar here.
Really solid pick. I do like Tyranitar a lot in this format because, like I said, dark types are very valuable to deal with a lot of the ghost and psychic Ubers that people have picked up. And it's another mon that can check my Ho-Oh, so I don't like that either.
Yeah. I also think Cress can check your Ho-Oh. I remember like
maybe.
Leo put this in the chat and he's like, I'm sorry. And like he knew drafting Cress just made him a terrible human being. So
Yeah.
like Cress plus Ferrothorn and Snorlax, like bruh.
I like it though. I like it for his team. It fits really
Nexus
well together.
2.0 here.
Gives him Levitate. I mean, he has that. He has the bulky psychic typing. So, I mean, I think it's a good pick overall. Has the ability to Lunar Dance to heal up a Pokemon. Just basically, I think isn't Lunar Dance a better healing wish if I'm not mistaken? Pretty sure it is. What's the difference? I
Moonlight?
forgot. So Lunar Dance.
Oh, Lunar Dance.
Yeah. User Feint's replacement is fully healed with all of its PP, and then like Laddie's Healing Wish I think just does that without all the PP. Like, yeah, exactly. So it has the additional effect of if you run out of moves, it'll give you back all your moves.
Oh, and yeah. Oh my god. Yep. All right, Leo, stop it right now. Okay, so if the draft were to end here, these would be people's teams that they would bring. Whose team are you afraid of the most with a full 6 in their squad?
Leo's team is looking great with the full 6, I think. Aster's team, of course, looking great with the full 6. What else? Your team is looking pretty good too, honestly.
Yeah, there's definitely some things that I need to round it out, which you'll see in the next 5 picks. But at the halfway point here in the draft, I think Nate also has a good pick or a good team
definitely.
together.
I like Nate's and Cybertron's picks as well, which are very threatening.
Yeah, anybody who's finished both cores, I think is sitting in a very good position. 6 picks in, because then they can spend the next 5 putting things together. Nexus is probably like wherever he is turning into a flat Earth with the amount of bulk that he has on his team.
Exactly. Yeah, how do you like my draft, by the way?
Yeah. And your draft is obviously looking disgusting too.
Thank you.
Double removal. You don't need to bring Giratina every time now that you have Bronzong as well. Pairs well to deal with some of the like rock threats that would go after Ho-Oh. And then just everything rounds out super well. Yeah. So,
like it.
round 7, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
7 out of 11.
Ooh, why is that not in order? Let's try that again. There we go. Sorry, I spoiled your pick. But...
No!
I'm out. I quit. So, Florges coming on through, or Comfey rather. I can't. Whatever. They're both Pokemon. At least I got the typings right. So, Comfey, priority in, what is it? Their triage?
Yeah, triage ability, so it gets the +3 priority boost with that. So it's going to be faster than even extreme speed, which is crazy. It gets that priority with the Draining Kiss, as well as its potential Giga Drains and whatnot as well. Calm Minder, and it also has Defog too, so that's pretty nice. Gives him a Fairy type to complete his core, and as well as a great option to check dragons with the priority Draining Kiss.
Yeah. Aster, grabbing... How do you pronounce this? Because I get roasted when I say it.
It's Reuniclus.
Reuniclus. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Like my front office is like Reunculus. I'm like, no, that doesn't sound right to me.
Reunculus.
Yeah. Reuniclus.
Yeah, it's a good mon. It can calm mind. It can have a couple useful abilities: Regenerator, Magic Guard, even maybe Overcoat, perhaps. I don't know, but yeah, Calm Minder can Trick Room. Can also it can also like set up.
Yeah,
very
it's got some
bulky,
great
like,
abilities too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then Metagross coming on through as a free pick here. Obviously very good in its own right. I think adding the steel to the team really helps round it out here well. Finishes off... Does not finish off the course. Still missing a... No, wait. Veltal's... No, Dark Flying. Still need a dragon. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm learning. Bear with me.
I do like Metagross though. It's one of my mascot mons.
Staraptor for my team. To kind of help pair things. Offer me some Intimidate. I've never run it before. I'm actually super excited. Great speed, or 100 base speed, great attack. Good revenge killer coming on through with a Scarf. Gives me some U-turn momentum to pair with my eventual electric type. And then has a great, can be supportive with Defog and Tailwind. And just has a great overall abilities in, or typing in both normal with the and flying.
Yeah, exactly.
And somehow also learns close combat.
I mean, it's a very combating mon.
Yeah. Araquanid coming in through for the Sharpedos. Sticky Webs, decent abilities, and just a very defensive Pokemon as well, and has the water immunity.
Yeah, Sticky Webs is pretty big on it too. You can run that and have Sticky Webs, Lucario, Tapu Koko.
Yeah, and
Weavile.
Metronome
Bandit
Liquidation
Weavile
would be just disgusting.
Absolutely.
Next is finally adding a much-needed offensive presence to his team in Buzzwole.
Yeah,
What do you think?
that's a good mon. I've seen that used in Ubers before. It takes ground type attacks really well. Buzzwole, okay, so even though it's like kind of fat on the defensive side, it's a powerhouse. It's a wall breaker. So like I said, you know, his team was looking fat, needed something to break stuff. Buzzwole can break stuff. So even though it's fat, it can actually utilize its attack stat really well with it.
Yeah, I mean, its attack and its defense are both 139, guys. It's an offensive presence, and it's fat.
Yeah, it still fits the fat theme.
Yeah. Nate grabbing Arcanine. Has a fire immunity for his team, which I think is definitely necessary to take some weight off of Skarmory.
Mm-hmm.
And Intimidate as well. And great speed tier, but mediocre, well, I'd say slightly above average, yes, I'm aware Primarina can break, guys, but Primo can't take hits if it's built to break.
Yeah, like he has Primarina as the special, the physical wall breaker, and then, the breaker for the physical side, then Buzzwole for like breaking more special walls, I guess.
Yes. And extreme speed as well, Nate. So, the Klefki pickup for Kyle. I don't know if I agree with a second fairy type and a second steel type, but I think it offers him some screen supports as well as offers him spikes and
Spamming
ground
T-Waves.
immunity, correct?
Mm-hmm. Magnet Rise, Spamming T-Wave. Good mon. And we get to make it to my pick now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Shaman. I picked up Shaman here to complete my core of Ho-Oh, Keldeo, and Shaman. I have Healing Wish on this thing, so that's nice in order for me to heal up something. And remember the theme. Remember the movie, guys. Remember Giratina Origin movie? The Giratina movie with Shaman? That's why I also picked it up there to complete the movie theme. Gives me a grass type, so I never
really
had that
letting
before.
Ash Ketchum pick your Pokemon for you.
Why not? I don't see a problem. I do like it. Base 100s across the board on this Shaman, and Seed Flare is always nice too. But yeah, I'm excited to use it too for the first time. I've never used Shaman in draft.
Yeah. Vaporeon coming on through. Bulky Pokemon can also be offensive. Great support for the squad in Wish Passing, correct? Yes.
Correct.
Good.
I like it.
There's not really much more to say. I mean, you guys know Vaporeon, great pick at T5 in this league. Then
Water
Miltank
Absorb.
for Tup, which is
Tup really out here taking Miltank.
yeah. I mean, it's typically T5 normally, so I'm not surprised. I was surprised to see it go in Ubers, but Miltank, great Pokemon. Sap Sipper, scrappy as well, and thick fat. Gets rocks, gets access to Milk Drink to heal up, and can just kind of throw out some utilities and spun some hits for him.
I like to see him click a rollout with that one.
Oh my god. Yeah, how did Gym Leader Geo not just do rollout Miltank every draft? Kartana coming on through. Grass Steel, 4 times weak to fire, but Beast Boost and just disgusting Pokemon. Hits hard and great speed tier as well.
Yeah, I know Aaron likes to run Kartana. He actually used that, I think, in the season of the GBA, if I'm not mistaken. He had a Kartana on that. And yeah, I think it's great for his team because it gives him a Pokemon that can just be really fast, potential defog, and Beast Boost as well, and works along with Wobbuffet. If you encore something, you can bring this thing in and set up, and maybe even run like a speed boosting Timid Kartana perhaps could work, or just a hard hitting Bandit set, Scarf, or just Swords Dance. Potential for Z Crystal as well, keep in mind.
Yeah. Retris coming on through for the next pick. I think this pairs well with.
Did you just say Retris? Forretris?
Yeah, Fortress.
It's I call it Fortress. Yeah, I don't call it Retris.
Call it whatever the heck I want, man.
Yeah,
the fantasy core is complete with this one.
Nice rapid spin, and potential to set up a lot of hazards.
Yep, spikes.
And, like, you can put a Custard Berry on this thing, and you can run rocks and spikes, and boom, and then that's it.
Mandibuzz coming on through next. Sorry, I'm prepping for round 8, so if you want to take over on that one.
For sure. Mandibuzz is a good one. I've used it before. It's a nice Rocky Helmet user, of course, in my opinion. Gives him defog, so that's always nice. And a dark type, which I don't think he had before, so it gives him the dark type, which is good for taking ghost hits that his team did not really appreciate in the first place. Like I said, it has defog, gives him momentum with U-turn, knock off foul play, just a couple moves to note that of what it does. But yeah, other than that, not much else to say about Mandibuzz.
Yeah. Next pick is going to be Incineroar, which I think at T5, solid pickup, slow U-turner, has great typing, Psychic Immunity, as well as Intimidate, and I mean, it's a very slow U-turner, but I've always wanted to run it, never had a chance to, and hits hard, especially a great Z user, abuser, because you can just run so many with it, and you get the unique Incinium Z with it.
Dude, I think tier 5 Incineroar is so worth it too, because like with the Intimidate and the dark typing and the U-turn and the potential to set up and stuff with it and just hit hard with Banded and stuff, like I think it's a great tier 5 pick.
Yeah. And then Heliolisk getting tossed in with the Lucha Bulu Bulutran core. I really, really love Heliolisk. It's fast, has a unique like presence in the fact that it gets 3 different weather abilities, and has great coverage. I mean, it learns Surf, for God's sake, and just offers a lot of versatility to the team.
Yep, I agree.
And that is going to round out round 7. Teams are looking good, man. Teams are looking good. I think Like, who would you say is struggling the most and needs to make it up in the next 4 rounds to have a chance against these upcoming matches?
That's a good question. Honestly, can't find one person that looks like their draft is struggling because they have a lot of really good picks on it. I would probably say that maybe if Dancer could pick up a ground type, that could be cool because he doesn't have any sort of Volt Switch immunities. I always think like having at least a Volt Switch immunities always appreciated, just because there's a lot of Pokemon that can just run momentum and switch into bigger threats and give you a harder time.
Yeah, just something to slow the game down and give you a chance.
Yeah, every team is looking great though. Yeah, very curious to see what picks the people that didn't pick up their tier 1, the tier 1 Uber, what they would potentially get.
Right, waiting till like the last round for the megas.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be smart too if you're prioritizing other mons. But then you kind of have to be stuck with something that's left there, which you might not want. But I think can't really go wrong with any of those picks.
Yeah. All right, so let's kick off round 8 with the wrong Pokemon. Sweet, come on. There we go. Savali, there's your ground type, and every type getting added in for Danza here.
Yeah, every type on it is pretty good. He has the option to run whatever type he would want for his matchup, so that's great. Defogger, Parting Shotter, and yeah, very versatile mon in its typings, and can be hard to predict what type he might bring, but you can see it in battle and kind of play around it a bit. Like, I did face the Savali before, quite recently actually, I think last week, if I'm not mistaken, in one of my other draft leagues in APA, but like, it's base 95 stats across the board, which is not bad. It has the option to set up, but you mainly see this thing as maybe a bulky Parting Shotter to help him out, pivot into another mon that can force something else out.
Yeah. Next pick is going to be a Alolan Ninetales. Paired with Crook and Manaphy and Scolipede, like 3 mons, actually Magearna too. Oh god, just like Aurora Veil setup with like those mons is gonna be disgusting.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Like,
yeah,
you toss in a Defiant user to sponge up the defogs, and that's just that team's gonna be.
That's a pretty scary team. Like, he has the Veil for the setup sweeper, Gearna setup, Mew setup, Scolipede setup, Manaphy setup, and or even maybe Arrow with like Hone Claws or something. Yeah. So that's definitely scary.
T5 Salazzle, Poison Fire, 4 times weak to ground. Strong Pokemon, but I'm not a huge fan of mons that have a 4 times weakness. I think it just opens them up to having too many issues and being too easily countered. But Salazzle's fast enough to deal with a lot of the things that would normally.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, go watch my video that I actually used Salazzle in draft, and I ran a Subtoxic Protect Black Sledge set, which poisoned Alolan Mucks and other mons like that. So it's definitely something that can break things down with its corrosion ability. And that's one of the main appeals of this Pokemon is corrosion. It also has Oblivious, so it can set up Nasty Plot and not get taunted. So that's another option for it. But fast mon, that's a great mon, I think. Even if it has that weakness, it can kind of exploit other mons with it.
Yeah, that's true. Mienshao coming on through as well. I think it's just straight fighting.
Yeah, just pure fighting.
Yeah. Regenerator mon. I always forget that Mienshao is a regenerator.
Yeah, it's a regenerator mon. Has Reckless too, so they can hit really powerful high jump kicks.
Yeah, and good fake out support as well. U-turn user. Then we have Gligar coming on through as well.
The baby Gligar.
Yeah, Gligar's beautiful, man. I love this mon. Eviolite on there makes it arguably just as good, if not better. So the offers an easy switch in for ground moves going toward Toxapex. Great. It has access to Stealth Rock, Defog.
The Baton Pass rules work on Gligar in the sense that it can Swords Dance a Baton Pass. Like, you can't pass Speed, or you can't pass, like, I think you can SD Pass. I'm pretty sure you can. So that could be good for like Rayquaza.
Yeah. Top grabbing Togekiss as a T4. Just glad to see he doesn't have both Togekiss and Jirachi. But Togekiss paired with this Latias is just like, and Mega Scissor, like, oh my god, that fantasy core getting finished here.
Man, Tup is just trying to hacks everybody. He's got Shaman Sky Streaking Grace, and he's got the Togekiss Streaking Grace, man. He's just gonna scarf those two every week. Just click Air Slash.
Yeah. Superior coming on through to finish off a core with Victini and Vaporeon. Oh my god.
I like it. I honestly do.
You got the power, you have the speed, and you have the bulk in your elemental core.
Yeah. Contrary Superior is quite good on the contrary to what people say. You like that one?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Oh, talk to me. All right, so I have one Trapper in Goth. Talk to me about your Trapper in Doug Trio here, man.
So I feel like this pick fits extremely well with my team. Doug Trio can trap the steel types that Mega Diancie doesn't like. Doug Trio also traps the rock types that Ho-Oh doesn't like. So I think Doug Trio is going to be nice in order for us to, in order for my team to be able to just get rid of a lot of the Pokemon that can deal with some of my upper tier threatening Pokemon. And I think it's sort of a great option to, it forces them to run different items potentially, or it just traps things. And it's a fast mon, so they can get up fast rocks as well, and run a bunch of different items that it can utilize.
Yeah. Mega Blastoise coming on through for Kyle, helping him with his team overall.
I just want to say real quick, chat, I appreciate it. Catching onto my puns, catching onto my jokes. Love you guys. Thank you.
Nah, man, save him for the titles. Mega Launcher, great ability. Every time I want to use this in a league, it gets sniped, so I don't have any experience with it. Rapid Spin, obviously. But arguably, I would say Seismitoad's the better Watermon.
Yeah. So Mega Blast. So it was Mega Blastoise, right? You picked that up.
And Seismitoad came from Nate next.
Yeah, Seismitoad. I do like Seismitoad. Gives him a ground type that he did not previously have. I'm currently using Seismitoad. It's a really fun mon. And it gives him useful abilities in the Water Absorb to be immune to the water typing, and has Stealth Rocks. Decently fast too, so it can run a bunch of different sets with Swift Swim even as well.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this when I picked it up in my last league. Nexus grabbing Zoroark, which doesn't seem to fit the rest of his theme, but I think if you can fake people out into thinking it's a bulky Pokemon, you can really get creative in terms of dealing with stuff and baiting out some switch-ins.
I think so too. Like, think about Zoroark disguised as a fat mon when it's not actually a fat mon. So you're gonna bring your wall breaker out, you're gonna try to break through it, but then Zoroark's gonna be faster and hit you up with that that nice powerful move.
Yeah, especially if it's Z-crystalled.
Yeah, I think it's smart.
You just bring the crystal that's gonna deal with whatever wall breaker they're gonna try to bring in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I do like this pick. It's a good disguise mon, and like disguising into a fat mon. Like, just imagine. I wonder if you can disguise. I think you can disguise into the father form, so you could potentially have like 2 father forms coming at you, but one of them's not real.
Oh my god. Cofagrigus, I love this Pokemon. It's the only mon that can 1v1 Mega Lopunny. And just great ability in Mummy. It is very fat, very versatile, has access to T-Spikes, and just a monstrous bulk stat.
Potential for a solo Trick Roomer as well as a late game cleaner.
Yep.
And
speaking of late game cleaners, my 9th pick here.
Yeah.
8th pick.
What do you got?
8th pick. Virizion, man, coming on through. I know you love this Pokemon. 4 times weak to flying, but I think it fits very well in with my team. Offers a fighting in grass that I didn't have previously, and really, really good.
Yeah, it has good synergy with Nihilego, and Mecha Aggron because they can take flying hits for it. Nihilego in particular can take flying hits decently well on the special side mainly, but
Yeah.
regardless, I think it's a really solid grass fighting, good speed tier, and has a nice variety of setup options in Swords Dance for the physical side, or Calm Mind for the special side, or Work Up for both.
Yeah. And then Porygon 2 coming on through. Great value pick as well.
Yeah, bulky mon, very bulky.
Very bulky.
Fat.
Yeah, which I think this team needed.
Yeah, it can also be offensive with download ability, boosting its attack or special attack respectively depending on the stats of your opponent. Like I said, it can also trick room as well. It's and of course with the traceability, you know, it can sort of I guess copy abilities, take advantage of them. Like it can copy Landorti's Intimidate, or it can copy Levitates, Flash Fires, things like that can help it out.
The opposite of my Virizion, we have its brother in Cobalion getting drafted as well here.
I think all the Musketeers are gone now. I took Keldeo, you took Virizion, Terrakion was taken by Nate, and Aster is taking Cobalion. So all the Musketeers have been drafted.
Yeah, there's some great mons, man. Like, these teams are really all coming together. And then some more fat going to Leo here with Alomola getting picked up.
Alomomola.
Alomomola. Yeah, so mom and dad of Alomo and Snorlax.
Yeah, and the fat Cresselia too.
No. No, man. Like, who let this happen? Is the real... Yeah, Leo does love this mon.
He got the Regenerator on deck. He got a lot of cool stuff. Like he's just look at the gap between Marshadow and the other mons. He's just showing you how much more transcending is Marshadow in comparison to all these other mons. There's no tier 2. Like he just had Marshadow and all these mons stacked on the bottom right there.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, and now he's got his fat healing wishes.
Yeah. So let's look at the round recap and let's take a look here. What do you think is the value picks of this round?
I think Doug Trio is a great value pick. It's stupid fast and deals with so much. Forces your opponent. It's an annoyance because you have to figure out if you need to run Shed Shell or not.
Yeah.
Or find some other way to deal with it. Great revenge killer. And I think no matter what tier you're in or what league you're in, having it available in your in your arsenal to deal with Pokemon is huge. Togekiss would be another one, and obviously, like, I love Alolan Ninetales. Like, Veil in any situation, especially with the setup Pokemon that Jolt has, is like key.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so
3 more picks, 3 more rounds, 3 more picks.
We're working our way through.
So what do we have for Leo's
Nidoking coming on through for Leo. Finally picking up a well, he had Garchomp, but second ground type. First poison. Obviously talked about it earlier. Big fan of it in terms of the Sheer Force Life Orb. Ability to run that and just hit stupid hard.
Gives him a secondary ground typing, so it's pretty good. Both Nidos, I think, are gone now.
Yes, they are. Salamence coming in from Aster.
As you're picking up Salamence, that's a good mon. Like, for this late in the rounds and
Right?
stuff.
Like, round 9 Salamence? Like, are you serious? Yeah.
Yeah, round 9.
Pairs beautifully with Cobalion.
I do like it. It gives him a Dragon Dancer, potential Scarfer. It also has Defog, so we can run a bulkier set as well with Intimidate.
Yeah, it's a very versatile mon.
Yeah, it really is. I'm not sure what I like better, though. Do I like Dragonite better, or do I like Salamence better? Because I know that I've used Dragonite a lot.
I think
Salamence, but Salamence is a lot more
I think the
suited to
Intimidate
things like
support is great from Salamence, and if you run it offensively, you have Moxie as well.
You also have multi-skill on Dragonite, though, which lets it set up a lot easier.
That's true, too. That is
Pros
true.
and cons.
Powdon coming on through to offer some bulk as well to the Houston Team Rockets as well.
So Randy got his ground type here, so he does have his Pokemon to help him with a weakness of Yveltal and Suicune.
Yeah. Just anything to help Yveltal out is always a good thing.
Stealth Rocker as well, so that's pretty cool. I was looking at Hippowdon for my own team, to be honest, but I was thinking like Dugtrio fits so much better on my team because of how it can trap stuff and how it's fast.
Yeah, and then round 9 for me, Hoopa Unbound. Bruh, why did you push me so hard into this, Mon?
Look at your team, though. just take a long look at this team here. You have like good U-turn switch-ins, sort of like Finny, Volcarona potentially if you don't have terrain up, like flame body stuff. Mega Aggron, Hoopa Unbound, Kyurem White, 2 huge wall breakers on your team. Gothitelle trapping stuff that they don't appreciate, and momentum with like Staraptor plus. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Just know you hope you don't have to go up against it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like, early season would probably be better while I'm still figuring out how to use all those mons. Late game. Oh my god. Okay. Cloyster coming on through. Shell Smash. Water Ice. Has some priority in, what is it? Ice Shard?
Yep. Ice Shard priority. Shell Smasher.
Yep.
Works well with his team in terms of like screens Coco, Momentality to bring it in. He has momentum to bring it into with Volt Switch and U-turn on like maybe Gliscor. So yeah, he has options.
Yeah. And if you don't have bulk, like why don't you just get a free hit? Mimikyu coming on through from Nexus. Like, oh my god, Nexus. Did you just like Google fattest Pokemon and just like keep going down the list? And if you got sniped, you grab something else? Like.
So the good thing about Mimikyu is while it's not the bulkiest mon, it does have that free hit with Disguise, the Disguise ability. So it's a good mon if he wants to run it with like a red card maybe to swap something out, like one of the setup sweepers, or just have a way to check one of the bigger wall breakers.
Yep.
Good Swords Dance unit, and it can also run some Z crystals pretty well too.
Yeah. Decidueye for the next pick. Ghost Grass has a unique Z move in itself as well. Then you have access to Swords Dance, and it looks great. I love Decidueye.
Yep, potential defogger. It's really nice.
Yeah. And just such a versatile Z user too. Priority and Shadow Sneak.
And Sucker Punch too. Nice, nice Sucker Punch. Decidueye.
I think the last of the base 100s is going here with Celebi to Kyle, finishing off his Fire, Water, Grass core here.
I like Celebi for his team because it gives him a rocker. It gives him something that can sort of sponge some of the weaknesses that he does have. It's a good setup sweeper as well, and it does give him options to T-Wave things, which can be very useful for a lot of his other mons for setup. And I do like it. I mean, times 4 weak to U-turn, but he does have some U-turn switch-ins like Klefki and things, and Sticky Web will always help it out too. I think it works pretty well here.
Yeah. What about your Raikou pick?
Nice. I did pick up a Raikou for my next pick here. I do like it because it gives me the speed tier that's pretty fast. I wanted to like get some faster mons like Dugtrio and then Raikou, and like along with I guess Keldeo and Mega Diancie, some faster mons. Combine user, it's really great in that sense, and it can have a wide variety of coverage that can work for it. Like has the T-Bolt, has the Shadow Ball, Aura Sphere, and hidden powers of any kind. Gives me Volt Switch with it as well, so that's always nice for some momentum to get into something like Giratina or Ho-Oh or something, which can, I mean, probably easily just switch in regardless. But yeah, I do like it. It kind of fits well for the team, and I do think it works really well for me.
I also think Crobat was a great pickup this late for Dragon here. Poison Flying, great abilities in Infiltrator, and then stupid fast as well. Ground immunity, And you really don't need to worry about, like, you know, one of its weaknesses is immediately eliminated by the fact that it can fly.
Yeah.
So, offers some U-turn momentum as well for his team. And then Tup grabs Entei, which I think is the last of the doggos, since you grabbed Raikou and he grabbed Entei this round.
Yep, exactly. I think Randy took Suicune, I took Raikou, and Tup has taken Entei to wrap it up. So,
yep, good
fire-type Pokemon for his team, I think. Really solid.
Some priority as well.
E-speed, spamming Sacred Fires as well.
Yeah, and then does it get... Gets Flame Charge as well, so could really start.
Speed boosting move. It has. I think its only way to set up its attack is through Howl, so it can do that too.
Then there is Xurkitree coming on through. I don't know. I mean, I love Zerk, but at the same time, I feel like most people misuse it by only running it with Psychium Z. And it's such a hit or miss opportunity for you to get that hypnosis.
Yeah, I've run it with Electrium Z with either Electric Terrain or just hitting a really hard electric move. I think it fits with Wobbuffet well, I think, because he doesn't have sticky webs to abuse Xurkitree's mediocre subpar speed, but Wobbuffet can Encore him on, and then he can set up with that. So I think that can help him out there. He has Xurkitree and Kartana, which both can function with the setup that Wobbuffet can help with. I think Wobbuffet really sort of ties a lot of the sweepers he has together.
Yeah, 2 Beast Boosters on one team. Alakazam coming on through. Not a Mon you see get drafted that often.
Yeah, it's so regular Zam, really fast Mon, very useful ability in Magic Guard. Usually run with like a Focus Sash because it can check things due to Magic Guard not taking hazard damage. And it's just a really fast Mon overall. Like, it can even run a Life Orb as an item perhaps as well to hit a lot harder. And the option to Calm Mind as well as just spam T-Wave or even click like Sash Counter to check a Mon that can be very dangerous on the physical side.
Yeah. Speaking of physically dangerous Pokemon, Lycanroc Dusk getting picked up by Scizor here.
Interesting pick. Good Stealth Rock lead, as well as having the priority Accelerock and Swords Dance. Pretty fast Mon overall, relatively decently fast, and it can also, I think, run an Endeavor set. I think it was like the first set I think that people were using when this Pokemon first came out was like Rocks, Endeavor, Accelerock, and I think something else I forgot. But yeah, it's a good Mon, I think.
It has Drill Run too.
Yeah.
Sucker Punch. Yeah. Just a great opportunity to set up as well, and then abuse its speed. So, Breloom coming on through. I don't know how I feel about Breloom. I mean, it's obviously like a great Pokemon and highly valued. Technician is great, as well. Mach Punch, Spore to give it an easier chance to set up. But I feel like if he doesn't get the Spore off and have a chance to set up, like, it's super easily countered.
Yeah, I know Joel uses Breloom very effectively. He's done it before. Last season of the GBA, he's run like some really unique sets before, like Bulk Up Bloom and other things like that. So I feel like Breloom is like, it has such a useful ability in either Technician or in Poison Heal. So it can definitely do things besides Spore, I think, and it can be a good asset for his team.
Yeah. Gengar to finish off round 9 here.
Ghost and Poison typing. Interesting pick. T-Spike Absorber, which I think was something that he might have appreciated for his team, so that's nice there. It doesn't force him to run like Silvally Poison, so that's cool. And yeah, Gengar's fast, decently fast. It has that Cursed Body, which can stop it from doing things. So yeah, I like it.
All right, and on to the recap. I would say, in my mind, this late in the draft, grabbing Nidoking, Salamence, Mimikyu, and Crobat, I would argue would be the best. Obviously, like, I'm a little biased toward the Hoopa this late as well.
Yeah.
But I'd say there were definitely some beneficial pickups to round out teams. Even if the picks seem mediocre, they fit in with the rest of the Mons super well. and just kind of give them a more well-rounded team that offers various options each week. Because the last thing you want to do is be stuck bringing the same 6 Mons.
Yeah. Overall, I think everybody sort of fulfilled the majority of all of their cores that they wanted, and just the roles that they needed in terms of stealth frogs, in terms of defog, clerics, stuff like that. Anything they needed, I feel. And I think probably now is going to be where we're going to see either the people that haven't fulfilled some of their picks will do that, or just grab other higher value Mons, I would say, that would work well with their team.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And let's see where those come in. All right, webcam first. Guys, we got this. Then round 10. Boom. Como coming on through. Finally grabbing a second dragon type, but finally grabbing a have Halucha. So pretty much duplicate typing for the entire team. But the setup potential of Como is disgusting.
Yeah, for sure. So Comonium Z is banned because it's an Omni boosting move, so we won't be seeing that. However, it can Dragon Dance, it can Totemize, I think, as well, and run a physical set or a special set, or even a mixed set, for instance. I think the Dragon Fighting is pretty unique, though it is times 4 weak to Fairy. Keep in mind. So I think Como overall could be a threat. It has rocks, so it can set those up if it wants to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Joel grabbing Mismagius. I really like this pick, considering he's got Magirna and Alolan Tails. Getting a free switch in on a ground move is huge. Any Z, making Mismagius a Z user is great. Fantastic speed tier as well. And great immunity to both normal and fighting types.
Yeah, agreed. The Levitate ability is really good for it too. And like it's also another set of sweeper, like you said, so it can work well under Veil. Spin blocker for Scolipede and for any hazard setter. And yeah, fast mon.
Yeah. Scissor coming in through, finally picking up a Mega. We have Mega Manetric. I like this mon a lot. Great, stupid high special attack spat. Has access to Intimidate. Offers some Volt Turn pairing with the Landorus, right? Mm-hmm. Landorus has its U-turn, correct? Yes. So, those two mods really work well together. Very, very fast as well. And just kind of gives some added threat to the team and some great overall coverage in Overheat, as well as a couple of other moves. Necro coming in with Rotom Mo. I've never used a Rotom, if I'm going to be honest.
I think the Rotoms are good. In terms of like late round, lower tier value picks and stuff, I think it's great. Gives him Volt Switch, potential defog. And like the Volturn core with Lando T, Hydreigon, Rotom Mo, and Fortress even has also Volt Switch and Manshao too. So he's got momentum. Definitely not lacking momentum.
Gets Volt Switch.
Yeah, Fortress gets Volt Switch, exactly. I've seen that.
Goodness.
It's commonly run sometimes in on Fortress sets.
Magmortar coming on through for a round 10 pick here for the Cybertrons. Little disappointed the Melbourne Rotoms did not grab.
To try to belly drum with it.
Yeah, they didn't grab a Rotom, but yeah, belly drum user as well as some bulk to it, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 95 special defense. We can call that bulk, right?
You could slap on an AV and just be like, yeah, I'm bulky now.
Yeah, right? Like, I made the decision. We're bulk. Diggersby coming on through. I know this was something I was considering toward the end of my draft as well. Great Pokemon. With the Cheek Pouch ability. Huge power as well. Has access to U-turn. So offers some momentum, some priority and quick attack. Also has access to spikes, as well as does not get stealth rocks. The hell?
Nah, it doesn't. But great Swords and Sweeper.
Yes.
And Choice Scarf user, Choice Band user, as Wall Breaker.
Also a Swords Dance user. Well, I suppose you use Dragon Dance, but Scrafty coming on through. Very unique. Pretty much eliminates one of the like threats of fighting types typically in being both dark and fighting. So you don't have to worry about psychic types as you're immune. Doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses. Like, yeah, I mean, this mod's great. Another Intimidate user.
Mm-hmm. Has the Moxie ability too.
And Moxie as well. Talk to me about Haxorus for yourself.
I picked up a tier 5 Haxorus, everybody. Keep in mind, this is my free pick for tier 5. So I saw this Pokemon, I was just like, yeah, I need this thing, not because I really need it, but because of the value of it. Look at that. Tier 5 Haxorus, Dragon Dance, Swords Dance, Z-Move potential, Mold Breaker ability, and yeah, it just has an enormous attack stat, so I think that it can work well, and I mean, it gives me an alternate dragon to Giratina as well, so it can definitely pressure on that side pretty nicely. But yeah, I think the tier 5 value of this pick is phenomenal for it, with Mold Breaker, Earthquakes, and whatnot, and just being able to break things.
Yeah,
literally.
I think another tier 5 value pick would be Persian Alolan, coming in from Kyle. Has access to Parting Shot, Fake Out support as well for his team. Great ability in Fur Coat, which doubles its defense. Has also access to Technician. Great speed tier, but everything else is kind of mediocre from there.
Yeah, I think the Parting Shot momentum that it gives can help out his team a bit in terms of maybe switching in a little bit easier to something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nate grabbing Torn Eye, Prankster Defiant, great Pokemon. I love Tornadus, like both forms. Gives him some much needed ability to clear the hazards for his team, as well as some offensive presence in Hurricane, Heat Wave, Superpower. Overall coverage is great, and then can also offer Defog and Tailwind and Taunt support. And U-Turn as well to pair in with everything else.
I think the Tailwind that he has with Naganadel, Torn, and stuff can make some of his mediocre speed mons, like Mega Gyarados and stuff, even more of a threat than they already are. And even like Banded Terrakion, for instance. Think about Tailwind, Tornadus, and Banded Terrakion, or something like that can be really, really scary. And of course, not to mention, Defiant with Bulk Up, Acrobatics can also work too. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
Gorbis for Nexus.
So actually, when Nexus picked up this pick, I asked him why did he pick it up and stuff, and I told him, you can't Smash Pass, right? And then he's like, oh shoot, that was the reason I picked it up.
Oh really?
Yeah. So he blundered on this pick a bit. I think he said if it doesn't work out for him, he'll drop it and pick up something else. But yeah, I had to tell him that. I would be like, yeah,
he was going for the Smash Pass.
He was going for the Smash Pass, but that's not allowed. That's not been allowed.
Yeah.
He's
well,
6, so.
Maybe he'll get a chance to set it up with all his bulk.
Yeah.
Last of the Lake Trio, Mesprit, going here.
Yeah, so that's a pretty solid mon. It can Stealth Rocks, Healing Wish, and have some decent coverage like U-Turn, Ice Beam, stuff like that. But yeah, it gives him a Psychic type. I don't think he had Lati, but Mesprit can still do some stuff that Lati can't do, like Click Rocks, for instance.
Yeah, I'd like to see... well, he has Tapu Koko, so there's the Volt Turn. And I'm going to grab Magnezone. I'm really happy with this pick. I think it helps deal with a lot of Feeney's threats. I don't need to bring Mega Aggron every week. It gives me some momentum in U-Turn with Staraptor, Volt Turn with, or Volt Switch with Magnezone. And it just... Oh, Zelf hadn't gotten picked? Alright, my bad, guys. Alright, so only Uxie and Mesprit have been picked so far. I did blunder. My bad. But Magnezone, I think, is perfect, and it pairs beautifully with my last pick. We have Lycanroc Midday coming in from the Team Rockets. I love Lycanroc in general. Like, all forms have different abilities to them, but... The Lycanroc Midday is, I believe, the fastest of the 3. It is.
Yeah, it is, indeed.
And offers Swords Dance, Excel Rock, Like, just pretty much great, much needed speed, I think, for this team to pair with Jolteon.
Yeah, and of course pairs with the hip out on sand with
Oh yeah, that's
Sand
true
Rush.
with the Sand Rush.
Mm-hmm.
And then Licky, which I'm sure my dude Leo was mad. This probably got sniped one before him. He loves this stupid mon. It's just so derpy. Wish.
Yeah. He does what Licky does best.
Yeah, it's pretty
just
much just a
wishes
wish.
for the team. He's bulky. I think he can heal belt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can knock off stuff.
Yep. He can do things. And then Darkrai as a round 10 pick from Leo.
So that's gonna be Leo's tier 2.
Yep.
Mon, Darkrai. So another movie theme or another like sort of game theme, right? You got Darkrai Crest. So those are the two like sort of opposite sides of the spectrum there. One of them for the bad dreams and for the good dreams and whatever.
Yeah.
I think Darkrai's cool. He cannot run Z crystals on it, so I mean that's fine. Either way, it's super fast and has the option to nasty plot or even Swords Dance, like knockoff Sucker Punch and stuff can work too. Like there are a lot of options that Darkrai can run. A lot of great coverage moves as well. I think it's solid.
And it does get access to Pursuit. Somebody was asking.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the team there. I'm going to let you talk about everything here while I set up for round 11 for us.
For sure. I think the late Darkrai pick was really nice. You know, he ended up getting something that his team probably needed because he didn't have a Dark type previously. So he was able to prioritize other picks, grab up Darkrai very late in the draft. So that's cool. I do also like the... what else do I like here, actually? I like the Miss Mage's pick a bit because it's a ghost type, like Levitate. And it kind of looks like it fits really well for his team, for Joel's team. So that's pretty cool too. Value picks, I think, were definitely... Like my Hacksters, for instance, was a value pick for myself. Como was a nice pick too. It's very big of a threat. Just like Hacksters, it's a very threatening dragon type. Forgot what tier it was, actually. Don't remember what tier it was. You know, Aster Salamence was actually in tier 3. Hacksters was in tier 5. Como, I think, was in tier 4. Yeah, tier 4 Mon. So, yeah, it's a pretty solid Mons overall. And, yeah, I definitely like the way the teams are coming on together. I think Nexus' pick, though, with the Gorebyss, it's kind of messed up, though. He definitely needed something that... or he definitely didn't really need that Mon because it can't do what it wants him to do. Smash Pass is banned.
Yeah, and then to finish out Leo's team, Mega Gallade. Like, Darkrai, Mega Gallade as your last two picks of the draft.
He got his Mega Pokemon. I mean, they're not required, but he ended up getting one. So Mega Gallade, Darkrai, Marshadow, big threats overall. He's got the Fighting Spam Core in Marshadow and Mega Gallade. And Darkrai Mega Gallade too, like, they go pretty well hand in hand. They're both weak to Fairy, though, but he has some sponges, like Ferrothorn. Yeah, and, like, I guess Crest and Snorlax can eat up hits pretty well, too.
Yeah, everything, all these teams coming together are all, like, so scary. Articuno as the last pick for Aster here. I mean, it's got some good special defense. I mean, it's very niche Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but like...
in Defog, but as a Defog user, it takes 50% to Rocks.
Yeah, I think the Ice typing on its own is pretty solid because it can deal with a lot of dragons, which, as you've seen, they've been drafted a lot. But yeah, Articuno is interesting. Like, he does have the hazard support for it in Defog Rotom Wash, Defog Tornadus. But yeah, it's an interesting pick.
Yeah. Mega Latias going for the Team Rockets.
So that's a pretty phenomenal Mega Pokemon. Tier 2 Mega Latias, I think, is pretty solid.
Especially as the last pick of the draft.
His, like, Randy's team looks overall, like, pretty solid. His team looks overall good. It's very colorful. He's got the cores that he wants, and he's got the bulk that he needs as well as the offense. So it's like an all-around sort of team, in my opinion.
Yeah. Next up is going to be my pick. I finished out my team with Flygon. As you guys noted earlier, I've really had some issues in terms of an ability to a susceptible weakness to ground. So I solved that with Levitate. Great speed tier at base 100. Offers me Stealth Rocks as well. Gives a nice chance for some Dragon Dance setup. To spam EQ and outrages, and then offers some U-turn support as well to pair with the rest of my team. I really, really was happy with getting Magnezone, which was a T5 or T4 Magnezone, and then a T5 Flygon to finish out my team as well. No rocks, actually. That's right. Again, I remember complaining about that, but it does have Defog.
Yeah. Just having Defog, I think, is good enough for it.
And then we have a Scissor for Tom, which I will always prefer over Mega Scissor. I think Scissor plus Weevil and Weavile and Tapu Koko is nuts. Even if you didn't have Mega Lucario on this team, like Scissor paired with everything else looks so freaking good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I like it a lot. He's got really solid offensive cores.
Yep.
Great priority mons.
Yep.
Fast-paced team.
Next
overall.
is grabbing some additional bulk in Porygon Z. Well, no, not bulk. Never mind.
Additional offense, you mean?
Yeah. I was thinking Porygon 2 because of the Eviolite.
Yeah, Porygon Z is cool. Like, it's not going to be able to do the Z conversion stuff, of course, because it's an Omni boost, but it can Nasty Plot. It can hit hard with Choice Specs or Choice Scarf. He's got power. Yeah, he finally got some power.
Yeah. As the chat's making note of. Finally, some power. Yes, much needed. Much needed.
Yeah, actually, I was looking at Scizor for my team Texas Man. I was looking at that for my team. I figured that I might not have really needed
Neat grabbing Galvantula. Get some webs, some speed. The almost never missing Thunders. And offering him an electric type that he was missing previously.
Yeah, Galvantula gives him sticky webs, which is nice. And his team actually is looking pretty nice, because he's got the option to Tailwind, then he's also got the option to click webs and just, make it so that his team will naturally be faster, or just like give a -1 speed to anything that lands on it,
Yeah.
I like it.
Swellow to finish out Kyle's team here. Guts boosted. Swellow, great speed tier at 125. Boom Burst specs pretty much hits everything very well, especially paired with its ability in Scrappy. Offers some U-turn momentum for his team and has decent coverage as well. And I think offers his team something that was missing.
Yeah, like I feel like Kyle's team is really, really fast.
Yeah, he went full offensive.
Full offensive, yep.
Yeah, and then...
And I think that's fine for him, because he can make some of his other mons like bulkier, like Celebi Blasters and stuff.
Talk to me about your Bob Ross pick here at the end.
Oh yeah, I picked up Smeargle, so I think it's such an interesting mon. Like, it's used all the time, and it gives me the option to have rocks, webs, spikes, toxic spikes. It can set up all kinds of hazards. It can also, utility-wise, bounce back stuff. It can paralyze things. It can spore things. It can do a lot of different things as a lead. And I think it pairs really well with Giratina Origin as a spin blocker, and Mega DNC as something that can bounce back taunts. So I think it sort of fits really well with the team together and has the option to do basically anything I want it to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Another Mega coming through from the last round here. Mega Beedrill. Bug Poison, extremely fast. Like dumb fast. Adaptability is a phenomenal ability to go with it. Strong attack stat, and offers some like phenomenal U-turn support that just hits very, very hard. So Mega B, whew.
Yeah, Volturn with Zapdos too.
Yeah, and T-Spike support as well. Cladle coming on through for Tup to finish out his draft. I don't know if I agree with 2 ground types as your last 2 picks. Did he grab, was it Diggersby and Cladle to finish things off? Yes, I believe so.
So it does give him a spinner, which is interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about Cladle as a it can't really damage stuff too well, but it can definitely, I guess, take certain hits while also being able to set up rocks and rapid spin. I think the main attraction for this thing is it can be hazard mon and hazard control.
Yeah.
It does wall Terrakion though, to an extent, because it takes the close combat and the Stone Edge.
Yeah, and there's the last of the Lake trio. A Zelf going on in. I knew all 3 got picked at some point, guys. All right, like, it's just a matter of when. Stealth Rocks, Explode League, pretty much Suicide Lead. Great attack and special attack and speed as well. Access to taunt.
Yeah, I really do like Aaron's team a lot, to be honest.
Yeah. It's looking scary. They all look so scary, man. Just looking through. Well, maybe not as scary since Babaracle is going to get picked here. Shell Smash?
Mm-hmm.
Rocks?
Yeah, the main appeal of this thing is just as a Shell Smasher, I think. That's about it for Barbarical, besides maybe clicking rocks. But either way, like, it's a fun mon to use. I've used it before in just regular competitive play. It's a fun mon, very, very fun to click Shell Smash and, I guess, hit with boosted Tough Closet moves and things like that.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how this gets utilized. Finally, Scissor grabbing his T1. We have the attack form of Deoxys.
So Deoxys attack is a very hard-hitting mon. It usually is run with Tapu Lele, but because of the Psychic Terrain boost. But on its own, it can still hit extremely hard, has great coverage overall, and you can easily just run a Focus Sash on this thing in order to not get O-code by a move, because its defenses are trash. However, its offenses and its speed is phenomenal.
So you just gotta give up. Oh my god. Zekrom going last round as well. Dude, these mons are all so scary in the end here.
Yeah, for sure. Zekrom is Jolt's last and final pick for filling in his tier 1 slot. Phenomenal mon. It's Dragon and Electric, so has a pretty decent typing, I think, in terms of it taking fire and flying hits, and I don't like it because it can switch into my ho stat moves. But of course, you know, Zekrom, I think, like, overall, I think all of his picks have been pretty valuable, and I think Zekrom can really fit well on this kind of specific team, and it gives him an electric Pokemon that he never really had, as well as a dragon.
Yeah, and then Mega Alakazam to finish out the full draft.
Yep. Final pick of the draft is going to be the Mega Alakazam. So, good mon, very threatening, probably one of the top threats of Mega Pokemon in the OU tier, but in draft it can still probably function well as it's very fast, and yeah, I do like it a lot. Yeah. Psychic typing.
Yeah, and then that is going to be the final pick of the draft. Here is the final board. As you guys have seen these teams come together, it is... Oh, these teams look so good, man. Obviously, I think the people that waited to the end and ended up getting what they wanted benefited the most here, because they were able to pick ahead and grab great mons and not worry about the forced round 1, round 2, round 3, like, high-level Pokemon picks.
Yeah.
So I do think there is some benefit to that. But squads look good, man. Who are you most afraid to go up against?
I am probably honestly, like, every team is so good, dude. I don't even know. I'm just glad that I got the picks that I got, because I feel like with what I have, I can sort of play around a lot of these other teams. I have things that can deal with it. Really satisfied with my picks overall, and everybody's picks just look so scary, dude. Like nobody has an unscary draft or a team that's not looking scary, you know?
Yeah, well, you think they look scary now. Boom! The highlighted mons are these teams' Z users. Oh my god, dude. Both Kartana and Zerk, you have double Zs in Beast Boost on your team.
Yep, Ultra Beasts. Yeah, let's analyze the each of the Z picks. So let's go in order. Leo has assigned Z move users to Garchomp and Thundurus. Both of those two very big threats, of course. And I think those were probably the best Z mons he could have possibly assigned them to. So pretty solid there. Aster has assigned his Z mons to Tornti and Cobalion. I think both of those very solid overall. Interesting that Z Cobalion is there. I was half expecting Z Salamence with Z Tornadus, but I can see why, because Cobalion does give some variety and kind of also functions a bit better with the Z Crystal.
Yeah, and gives you the stab.
Yeah.
With the steel typing to deal with some of the more offensive fairy threats in the game.
Exactly. Randy has assigned his Infernape and his Lycanroc as Z move. Lycanium Z, very good. And Infernape kind of makes sense as well. I don't really see any of the other mons running a Z move besides Metagross potentially, if it's agility or something. But other than that, I think it's probably the best you could have done with those. Why don't you talk about your Z picks and why you gave it Z crystals?
Yeah, so with the uniques, dual typing that Hoopa gets, giving him a Z crystal made the most sense to me, because there's just so many different ways that I can hit hard, both with Fightium Z Focus Blast and Darkium Z Dark Pulse, and then just offer some versatility because he even has more coverage than that in addition to everything else. So I really, really liked Hoopa as an option for a Z Crystal user.
Yeah.
And then obviously like tossing a Z Crystal on a Quiver Dance boosted Volcarona just sounded super appealing to me. I like Bug Buzz because it gives me an ability just to push through subs and prevent setups in that regard. And then just overall, like my team, I think Volcarona benefited the most because it kind of helps boost a somewhat mediocre stat and take it even higher.
Yeah, I think like for your draft, you definitely Z'd them, like the two mons that were probably the best to Z in the first place. So that's really good. Tom Z'd his Lottie and his Coco. Pretty obvious. I think those are both probably the strongest Z mons he could have done with that. I could potentially see Z Cofagrigus as well, but I think Z Lottie and Z Coco are just so strong for sure. Next is Z'd his Celesteela, which was one of the tier 2 mons that could be potentially Z'd, so, and of course the Mimikyu, so great overall.
Yeah, I'm curious if the three, okay, so Coco, Celesteela, what was the other one you could Z Crystal as a tier 2?
As a tier 2, it was Coco, Celesteela, and Lando T.
And did Lando T get Z Crystaled?
It did.
It did. Okay, so people took advantage of that unique modifier on them.
Exactly, yeah.
Good.
Nate's Z Terrakion and Z Tornadus. What do you think about those? I think those are really good overall.
Yeah, I agree too. I think Z Torn makes the most sense. Make sure you guarantee that the Hurricane doesn't miss, and the Supersonic Sky Strike hits hard. Then Terrakion, like we said, has a great overall move pool, and with the Z Crystal, it just further amplifies that ability to break down threats from the other teams.
Yep, exactly. Kyle has Z'd his Thundurus, Therian, and his Alolan Persian. So I think on his team, he had like, I think 3 potential good Z mons that he could have done. He could have done the Zygarde 50. I think, of course, Thundurus is a great one, and Alolan Persian is also pretty good too. He has Z Parting Shot on that, so that was mainly, I guess, for Z Parting Shot.
Right, because that fully heals whatever mon he parts into, correct?
Yeah, exactly. But what would you think? So if it was you, would you have the Zygarde or would you have Z the Persian? Because in my opinion, like a Z Zygarde is a really big threat too.
I think that's a tough call because, like, I don't know. I feel like if in Ubers, like, it takes so long to potentially chip down, like, some of the bigger threats that when they're finally close to dead, you feel like you have some sort of, like, reprieve on your team. You're like, oh my god, it's almost dead. Like, if I can clear this off the board, I'll be fine. So for Kyle to have the ability to fully bring back the health of one of those Ubers or one of those threats to his team, I think is very scary. But you could have also accomplished the same thing with Wish. So I think in terms of that, the Z Zygarde would have been a better choice.
Yeah, I think so too. Like Persian can only really utilize the Z move for maybe Z Parting Shot or maybe like a Dark EMZ on a Nasty Flat set or something. But yeah, I think the Z Zygarde just has so much more threat potential in my opinion. But I think that he'll still utilize his Z mons pretty well. I've Z'd my Keldeo and my Haxorus. I think I really like those two as Z mons. Z Keldeo can definitely be a threat. It's, usually like running like either can run like Water EMZ, Fightium, or like Z Hyper Beam or something to deal with some of its counters. It has some good Z options it can do. And Z Haxorus I think is nice because with the power that it has, it can easily just Dragon Dance up or Sword Dance up and then just destroy something with a Z move. I think those two would be nice. I was kind of contemplating between maybe like Z Raikou as well, but like I feel like Z Keldeo and Z Raikou can kind of use these in a very similar way, but I wanted one on the special side and one on the physical side, so that I think it'd be nice in that way. And then moving on, of course, Goldoa has Z'd his Victini and his Scrafty. So I was kind of wondering. So like, okay, so Z Victini can't run the Omni boosting Z Celebrate set, but yeah, I usually see that with Z Victini. I'm not sure what other Z sets he could do, but I guess like a coverage move or something. Z Scrafty could be cool, help him with Moxie boost and whatnot. But I think like Z Superior would have been nice because that Pokemon appreciates running Z moves, in my opinion.
Yeah, or even like a Z Crobat would have been.
Could have been interesting.
Could have been interesting as well. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious how the Z Victini works out. I think Victini benefits from so many other items that throwing a Z Crystal on it kind of cripples it in some ways.
I mean, it can hit harder, I guess, but like one of the main, like the biggest Z Victini set is the Omni Boost.
Yeah, obviously
one, which
the
you
Z
can't use.
Celebrate, but that's not allowed. So
exactly. Top has Z'd his Lati and his Zero Aura. Interesting Z mons in my opinion, but I think sort of those are the best ones he could have Z'd, to be honest. Both of those kind of function pretty well as Z Crystal users. Cybertron, of course, the double beast boost core.
Yeah, we talked about that, and that's all it needs to be said. Like,
yeah, all it needs to be said.
If he gets a free kill with the Z move, like,
yep,
it's GG.
Yeah, exactly, as I expected him to do. So Necrostiro has Z the Lando T and the Hydreigon. I think both of those pretty good as well. Not much else to say there. I think he did the right thing. Z Kyurem and Z Jirachi on Lars' side. Very solid.
Yeah, the Z Kyurem makes sense. Hits super hard with the Sub-Zero Slammer.
I don't know about Z Jirachi because he can't run the Omni Boosting Happy Hour set, but he'd have to run maybe like a Combine coverage move or something like a Z Jirachi could do that potentially. I would have liked to see maybe the Z move on the Lando I potentially, because he could run not only the Sheer Force Life Orb set but also a similar set to Lando T in terms of like running Z Fly or something. That might have been cool.
Yeah. Or even given the Lycan Rocket's unique Z move as well.
Yeah, exactly. Similar to the other Lycan Rocket. Yep. They got the Z move.
Yeah. Mew Z obviously makes the most sense.
Yeah.
What do you think
Medium
about
Z.
Z
He'll be able to use Medium Z. But he did have to face a trade-off between Z the Manaphy or Z the other ones. Z Scolipede is definitely scary though too, because it can easily run like a Z Bug or a Z Water or something like that. That can beat some of the other Pokemon that would like to deal with it. And last but not least, we have the Z Gengar and the Z Como-O from Danza. So both of those I think are great. Z Heatran might have been cool too, but Heatran can really function on its own, and it probably likes to run berries and Shucca stuff, like Shucca berries and things like that can help it out, take ground type hits. He also has Bulu as well. Like I think he had a lot of Z potential mons. Like it could have been Z Bulu, it could have been Z Heatran. Z Gengar can work too, of course, and Z Komao for the Dragon Dancing set. And that will wrap up our Z users.
Yeah, and wraps up the draft. Thank you so much for joining me, man. I appreciate your help and
thank you as well.
Running along with it with me.
Absolutely. I think we have some good synergy as well. And the week 1 matches up on not next weekend, but the weekend after.
Yeah, so you'll see people going into their draft analysis over the course of the week. The uploads are staggered, so you guys get a full, like, almost 2 weeks of draft analysis, and then the matches should be going up, 2 weeks from now. So,
do we have a slide for any other stuff to like show the dates or anything, or no?
No, I don't have slides for anything else.
That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, everybody. So yeah, week 1 will go up in 2 weeks from now, and you'll see draft analysis along the way. I think they're split up by divisions, so we'll probably announce something on the Twitter with the divisions and stuff as well. So keep in tune with that. And thank you all for watching and coming down here to see the Pokemon in the draft stream.
Yeah, man. All right. You enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll catch you later, man.
Good be, my friend.
Yeah, take care, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up the draft stream. There we go. That's what we wanted. Why is full face cam not my full face cam? Anyway, that's going to wrap things up. Thank you all so much for joining me. And I will see all you beautiful, wonderful, sexy, gorgeous gaming legends tomorrow when I come back to normal streaming. We're going to be doing some shiny hunting and all of that fun stuff. So be sure to keep on. If you guys haven't already, feel free to drop a follow. Thank you, everybody. These are the notifications finally coming through for the bits. Let me just take a moment to thank everybody that did that. We had Pie Master come in, gift 1,500 or 5 subs, 1,500 bits. Alec, tier 2, 14 months. Alec also gave 1,500 bits. Thank you, Coop, Maddie, Lord Charming, Laura, all for Nub Fairy for the sub, Pollock for the sub, Jimmy for the 15 or 14 months. Season starts 2 weeks from now. Draft analysis will go up next weekend or this upcoming weekend, and then matches will be up the week after that. So, RDD came in with 2,500 bits. Kami with the resub. Justin with the 15 months. Shenjon for the 9 months. McDonald for the 3 months. Mafia for 3 months. Mamanish for tier 2 for 14 months. Arc for 8 months. And as well as everybody else that followed. So thank you all so much for that. And I'll see you beautiful people tomorrow. Peace out, you sexy, gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful gaming legends. Take care, everybody.